everyone, and welcome back to RPG Night with Sass Vol.2. My name is Peach Quiche, and I will be your bard slash cleric slash whatever for today. So I haven't gotten back last week, and so the tower came down. There's a coup at the Mages College. There's a lot of mess going on, and people are trying to kill all the elves because why not? Apparently. So let's go ahead and hop back into it. Let's hop back in Discord. Hello.
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 Good
Hello.
gluten.
I am glad you were needed for the last 5 minutes. Just saying.
Do I want
Apparently
to know?
something's been going on, but I don't understand.
Really don't want to know.
I'm gonna ask.
Apparently something happened to a dog.
Oh. Oh dear. We're back
And
on
I really don't understand.
Okay.
You monsters.
Us?
Just saying.
Monsters?
Petrie,
No.
can I see your Discord on stream? I'm just making
Wait,
sure.
are you talking about my dog?
No.
Wait, what are we doing?
I have no idea anymore.
Mute Discord on stream?
What?
I'm sending you a PM.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we could, but then I couldn't hear anything, and I couldn't.
No.
Couldn't interact. Alright. Type faster.
I am.
Alright, so,
Wow.
last time on this world, we died.
It's beautiful.
We're not dead yet.
Not dead yet!
I'm getting better.
Turned me into a newt! A newt! Well, I got better.
Mostly.
Monty Python.
I mean,
Like qualities.
we could have had,
Oh no!
Oh, now I want a part of these shenanigans.
what
That's
shenanigans
what you guys
just
were talking
happened?
about before. Now we're telling what it was.
What?
No, you don't get
Now
it.
tell me.
No.
Tell me or I will punish you on Fridays.
No.
From now into eternity.
Buddy,
Whoa.
I'm going to be working so much that I may not even be able to continue that campaign.
Oh, that's no good.
Doesn't mean I won't still torture you.
That is valid.
There you go.
However,
Eh,
Petrie's laugh was enough for me.
What has been? What?
Nobody tell him.
Petrie,
Nobody
share.
tell him.
Petrie, share.
Nobody tell him.
Nobody tell him.
Why? I cry.
one by one. Just reposting what I was sent.
I cry.
Mm. Do you really want to know?
How bad is it?
Oh, I think
About
I
as
should
bad as the
pace
Mage
and you'll
Civil
find
War.
out.
About as bad as what?
About as bad as this magic civil war about to happen.
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah, I said
Because it's
Lewd.
very.
It's coming,
Many
Liz. Hang on.
D4s.
oh that yes because that was discussed and I mentioned earlier now as being a monster.
The rest of us think it's funny.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. I guess that's just the life of humor.
Yeah. Okay. moving
Tragedy
along.
plus timing.
everyone chasing it to me?
What?
I think everyone who knew about it immediately sent it to Magnus.
3 people all sent it to me. The exact same way, with no variation.
Oh goodness.
We're confusing the ever-loving fuck out of stream.
Probably.
Hey, listen, shenanigans.
Shenanifoolery, sir. Shenanifoolery.
Okay, this is fair, shenanifoolery. Hey, let's get into the session, shall we? I've got some good news and some bad news for you. Last time on our Sass RPG 2.5, because hey, we're evolving. Good news, you're out of the tower now. You're out of the underground. You have fresh air to breathe. Okay, maybe 90% fresh because there's still a little bit of dust and stuff in the air. But hey, 90% fresh is better than underground, right? The bad news is, well, that tower is no more, and well, there was a little bit of an earthquake and things and stuff, and Hollywood explosions, and y'all are safe. That's good news. But the bad news is that between sessions, some other things happened, and you've got names to face. You got a name to a face, or at least you think you have a name to a face. At least Ned thinks that. At least Ned feels like he's got a name to a face. You're outside the college, or I should say, outside of the now destroyed research tower. We'll use in air quotes. And yeah. By the way,
Seems I had a lot of trouble keeping funding up.
I will note to the party, as I've noted to some of you earlier before we went on stream, that you are currently 23 hours into your 24-hour day since rest, so you are about to eat a point of exhaustion if you go any further. So, just a friendly reminder as we start today's session.
Approximately
I
where are
told
we?
everyone to huddle up.
Okay, so I have already moved the map back. The big marker that says you are here, you are here.
That's the old lab.
Yes, you're still outside the lab. You're
but-
outside the destroyed lab.
We started walking.
Okay, so you're here then.
And we're at least in the forest, which is good because, guys, can we huddle up for a second? I think we need sleep, and I'm gonna ritually cast this, and crawl up in a ball and go to sleep.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I think I agree.
Tiny hut.
Magnus,
Yeah,
you're super
ritual
quiet.
cast.
Is there any way to make your mic louder?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been turning them up as well.
Yeah, he's at 200 for me. I can't turn up anymore.
Everyone has me at 200%.
I just moved Magnus to 200.
Yeah.
Because you are a quiet
So
boy.
different.
The other option is to turn
Oh,
everybody else
shoot.
down, turn my Discord up super loud.
I can't turn mine up anymore. I am sad.
I can't either, actually.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, that's okay. We'll figure it out. So, Remy has decided to cast ritually. The 10 minutes tiny hut as Remy is suddenly inside a tiny hut. By the way, are you? Do you cast it just around yourself and just say, "Hey, anybody who wants to join me"? How do you do it?
No, I'm like, I need you guys to stay close to me for the next few minutes while I finish this. Just don't get more than like arm's length away.
Is this any
And I
better?
make a bright
Oh.
blue.
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Don't mess with
No,
it.
don't change it. Don't
touch
change it.
Touch.
Ah,
No touch. As I turn Magnus down to 100% and everything is fine.
Yes. You're perfect. We'll adjust you from Discord.
oh.
Party adjust.
And it's gonna be a
Black
nice
mage is here.
forest green colored dome as I just curl up. What it's done, I curl up into a ball. This 5'4" humanoid curls into a 3-foot ball. Just
Fantastic. I have the visual already. We're good.
Now, do I conjure unseen servant to give him a back massage, or do I just go to bed as well?
You can ritual cast it now.
I'm sorry, 5'5" ball.
Anywho, what is the rest of the party doing?
Voldy will do the
you're
same.
down.
Just kind of like leaning up against the corner.
Okay. So rest for Voldier?
Yeah, but if anybody wants to talk to him, he'll talk first.
It would be like light conversation in that case, so you would
Precisely.
still be in your rest state.
Precisely.
I shall rest.
Magnus rests. Marasi.
Agitated. I want to keep moving,
What?
but I can't.
Okay.
Give
I
it
also-
a rest, Marasi.
I also only need 4 hours of rest, so I've got at least a little bit to be annoyed.
Give it a rest,
Uh,
Marasi. The rest of us need sleep, and we can't listen to you pace all night.
I can. The drumming on the ground with her feet kind of reminds me
Quiet,
of the
you.
thunder of the waves against the rocks. I miss the Isles.
At this point, Remy is talking nonsense in a semi-asleep state.
Kid shouldn't be out here, Marossi. Kid shouldn't be a part of this.
None of us should be out here.
Philnon, what are you doing?
I shall also rest.
Okay, so everybody's resting. Marossi for 4, everybody else for 8. Is anybody going to take any sort of shift, or is everybody immediately going to sleep?
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Marossi will take first watch, okay?
Vol.2 will take second.
Okay. Let's
If I
start.
recall correctly...
Hey,
I'm
Liz, there's actually something I'll have to... This is gonna be annoying, because I completely forgot that this is a ritual spell.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna have to re-put the dome up, too. So
What?
30 minutes later, I'm gonna put this in a 20-foot cube around the dome.
What are you doing?
Forgot.
Oh,
Alarm.
oh.
I forgot to set up alarm.
You don't.
I grumble aggravatingly because the dome closes as soon as I get up to go put the alarm up. And the happy, sleepy Remy is now the fucking son of goddamn.
So, wait, hang on. Take a step back for just a second. The dome is coming down in 30 minutes?
No, the dome will come down immediately. It'll take me another about 30 minutes to get everything done.
Effectively, he is waking up, undoing the dome, casting alarm, then recasting the dome.
Got it.
They're all
Okay.
rituals, so he can.
They're all rituals, so I can just keep doing it. It's just, I'm now thoroughly aggravated with myself because I was so tired I forgot to put my alarm up.
Okay, so you're bringing the dome down. You're putting the alarm up. It's going to take you some time, and then you're going to put the dome back up on top of that.
Within that area, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a 20-foot cube, 10-foot dome. It'll be an out loud alarm.
Mhm.
Because I'm a heavy sleeper. Even if it was mental, I'd still be asleep.
Got it. 20-foot cube. Got it. Okay. So
Does it make the awooga sound or the battle station sound? That's the curious question.
it makes the Metal Gear Solid sound.
Yes.
Oh, that's so short.
It puts it on loop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Although,
More
won't that just wake us up against a threat that can't actually do anything?
I mean, if they're magical, they can get rid of the dome.
Makes a quiet. What the alarm sound does. It makes a quiet clapping sound.
No, the sound it makes is actually from Home Alone, where he's in the bathroom and he's got the recorder going of his father or his uncle talking in the shower.
GG.
And on that note, we're moving on. Okay, the ritual goes up. By the way, Remy, as you are casting the ritual spells, as well as Marossi, you both take a point of exhaustion, which Remy's yours comes off as you go back to sleep. So it goes on for just a short time, like maybe minutes. Marossi, you're up beyond 24 hours. Let me get you to make, if you would please, a perception check. At disadvantage due to the fact that you are tired. And
By the way, you
exhausted.
can track exhaustion on this character sheet as well.
13.
It's beautiful.
Nothing exciting happens. It's quiet around here. A little quieter than one would normally expect in nature. There's definitely a lot less wildlife here than one would think for kind of out in the open, kind of a plainsy type area. Although, if you had to guess, it might have something to do with the fact that illegal experimentation and shit was going on in the body of water next to you.
Yeah, makes sense.
What? I mean, it might have something to do with that. I'm not sure, but you know.
Yeah.
But the good news is nothing exciting really happens on your watch. At least not that you can tell. 1 hour. Hang on. Hang on. Let me make sure that's the case. As I get the dice.
The dice.
Yeah, well, so much for that plan. I rolled a natural 20. Yeah, nothing exciting happens.
We spot the white stag and have advantage on saving throws for the next hour.
Well, no, actually, what happened was, a bird flew a little too close to your alarm and just woke the entire party up.
You.
You know, actually, that's a great idea. I should include our...
Hey,
as-
Croesus.
As a reason why the alarm is going off all night. And then the rest of the party will decide, just make it psychic so you don't have to wake up everyone else.
Basically, the car alarm is going off now.
No, it's a mental alarm. Oh no, it
No,
is
he made it
not an
audible.
alarm.
He made it
He
up.
made
It's,
it an
it's for
audible alarm.
it's for 10 seconds. It goes off, and I roll back over.
Yeah, it was Marassa. You could very clearly see it was a bird.
I'll tell them that when they wake up.
Okay.
The party is secretly a druid. The entire party is taken by surprise.
Well, at least we have Octavia back.
That will end the first shift as nothing else happens. I mean, I rolled a natural 20. The alarm had to go off. Second shift, Voldir.
Valdir,
You're
roll
on
perception.
You're on a short rest, so you haven't taken your full rest yet. So I will grant you 4 hours until you eat the point of exhaustion.
Okay.
So let me get a perception roll from you, please.
16 total.
16, fantastic.
Actually, no, wait. My proficiency bonus went up. That is 17.
Well, that's good news. 'Cause
Everything.
that actually did, because I also rolled a 17, which means nothing exciting happens.
Joy.
There you go. That actually did change everything, because something was going to happen otherwise.
And before it goes to us again.
Nah. Wait, Jurassic Park? What?
GG.
You seen that thing, Harry Potter? All the
Yeah.
Muggleborns go and make
Yeah,
their
I saw it.
Patronuses.
I saw.
It's a T-Rex. Why is it a T-Rex? All the other Muggleborns. Da, 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 da.
Oh dear.
Anyways, Valdir's kind of just keeping watch. He actually is gonna pull out his pipe that he still has, just no tobacco for it. Kind of just eyeing it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were going to stick it in your
I was
mouth.
about to say, hey man, I'm sorry, but OSHA regulations won't let you smoke inside of here.
He doesn't have any tobacco. He actually, so that's not even a problem.
I wasn't talking about tobacco smoke.
Anyways,
Asteroid, can you just smoke some of the spices in the ship's cabinets?
no,
He can if it's sued.
don't bring up Sood. Nobody brings up Sood.
You had an uneventful watch. At least my alarm didn't wake us all up again.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, once his watch is kind of over, he goes back to sleep. After about 3-ish hours, gets the rest of his sleep. Bliss?
Your
This?
button's muted.
Rip in peaceless. So am I with you guys?
No, you took the cart back on your own.
Because that's what NPCs do. They just go and fuck off.
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah. That's fine. I didn't exactly understand the recap from last week. Basically, you guys figure out that there's some mages who are into shoving Ifritis into elves. right?
Correct.
Okay. And you think it's all the mages?
Not all the mages. There's currently a civil war going on between them, and bad things are happening.
Oh, the Civil War started. Okay.
Yes.
I see.
So we're told.
Is it by a reliable source?
Ned.
So no.
Correct.
Relatively reliable.
Oh, come on. Be
I-
nice
I-
to him.
I trust Ned. He saved my life.
I don't trust Ned.
We don't know to trust Ned yet.
He saved my life, guys.
Also, I was just scrolling through because I was really curious. Because I was looking for that song you sent me a while back, Petrie. I was looking at it, I scrolled past it, and I didn't realize it, so I kept going. And I found it hilarious that the first time I ever talked to you on Discord, hey, can you sub for me in SCS?
Yeah.
It's like,
And
this is
no,
how I most met people.
not as a captain. Absolutely not. As a player, yes.
While we're waiting for Liz to come back, please consider this.
No,
Yes.
it is considered. He is a successful business guy. No, Mr. Bumblebee, there are no flowers here.
So how many times did they attack your window yesterday?
About 47.
Wow.
Were you counting?
Oh.
Lasagna's had an emergency.
Okay.
Oof, that's unfortunate.
So
Okay.
we could talk about stuff, I guess, for half an hour. At least.
That we do.
Yeah.
Well,
Rest in peace, Liz. Going
Much
away
rest.
as soon as I show up. I see how it is. Totally about me. Anyway.
so is my audio any better now? I know
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably blew out someone's ears
No,
accidentally.
it wasn't that bad.
Oh.
But yes, you're much better now.
Bless you.
Thank you. 30 to 60 minutes, okay.
Yeah, I always have to screw with my microphone settings. I don't know why.
Discord doesn't like you.
The gremlins don't like
No,
you
not
either.
even through Discord. Like the actual microphone properties.
Oh, then yeah, that's definitely Gremlins.
Oh dear, okay. Whenever Liz comes back, remind me to put the music back on, because I am not listening to that song for the next half hour.
No one blames you.
Oh, is music playing?
Yes.
Yep.
I muted Roll20 a long time
Wow.
ago.
Some of us don't have that option.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you? Now where you have an option, it's literally just Petrie. Petrie doesn't have an option.
Meh.
I mean,
And I also
technically,
use
this
it
is the one
for
instance where you do have an option, Petrie. This campaign's on a tiny, tiny hiatus. You could say, coming back soon, and just mute everything.
I could.
It is. Oh,
But
good.
then I'd be sitting in silence for the next however long.
Yeah.
Well, you don't mean mute us.
The question is, do you have an intermission picture to show until Liz comes back?
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all
I
go
have
to
a
the
technical
lobby.
difficulty screen.
You know, I'm curious as to what I'll go if the things turn out the way that they seem to be turning out.
Everyone dies.
Yeah, that's
No,
kinda
no,
what I'm
no.
looking at.
Valdir, if things turn out a certain way, Valdir is gonna dip.
He's going to dip into what?
No, he's leaving.
He's gonna
He's
dip.
gonna
Avocado.
leave.
I see. That kind of
Which I'm gonna be is gonna be fucking annoying because you're gonna come up with another V name that we're gonna have to learn.
Yeah.
It's because he really likes V's.
It's currently just my theme, okay?
Uh-huh.
Your theme is the V.
Sigh.
Comment down on that on stream. Thank you very much.
You know, this would mean though.
No, the
if
theme
all-
is all characters start with a V name. It's fun. It flows now. You know?
Sure.
I promise the next one won't have a V name. Happy.
You know what? You should make the next one. Fidian.
No.
Should we definitely
Yes.
try to kill your character then at this point? Because I'm not seeing other option. If your character leaves, though, that's the thing.
If, like I said, it's fully a if things turn out a certain path.
So you're basically chanting for 2PK. Got it.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
I like Voldir. I like the fact that I have 150 move per turn.
So stay.
It's not that simple.
I'm not telling you you have to leave.
Voldir's own, not exactly moral compass, but paranoia, I suppose, is. That's the unfortunate bit.
Because how's the best way to not be forced back to a country out on my own where I can attempt to hide from people forever? Or this group of very powerful, very strong warriors who own a ship and seem to be everyone who lines up against them ends up dead or tortured then dead.
And who are definitely going into things that would pretty much involve nations.
So what I'm hearing is Voldir is actually just a coward.
He's a little bit, yeah.
I mean, Smiles is a coward.
You guys will find each other. Smiles and Voldir will find each other, both still running from their problems. It's gonna be like the
Hey.
Futurama meme of Rocky 1000, except y'all are still just running.
I would like to point out that Smiles stuck it out until he died, and then was retconned into life. But in which case, he nope. Because
I think I still have a chunk of your flesh.
That's gotta
That's
be
mildly
moldy as
disturbing.
fuck right now.
That's
No, I
actually
probably preserved it in
Cowan's
Oh,
flesh
okay.
you have.
No, it's the
No,
only
no, I
person that
took
still
one of
has
your
a
scales.
piece of me.
You took away one scale.
Yeah, and I put it in a vial because I was using it for a summoning ritual.
That's not a chunk of
Goddamn.
flesh.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
kind of a
different
chunk of flesh.
definitions of
It's-
What was your last character's name? No,
Vitae.
Yeah.
Vitae. Vitae still has a piece of me, quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
A little
Forever and
gold-covered
ever.
finger.
Mm-hmm. He does. He keeps it in a little chest on his desk.
Just wondering.
So if you ever need to true resurrect me, there's a finger.
That could be interesting.
Who knows?
Nothing
It's
left
just
but a
Already
finger.
been true resurrected. You don't know that.
The question is, do we really want to resurrect Cowan? All he did was sit in a corpse cart.
Vitae
when
I
would
he
made
wanna resurrect
bombs
Callan.
for you.
Vitae
I
would
made
want to resurrect
Tons
Callan,
of
'cause
bombs for your party,
Callan
for
was
the party.
useful.
The other times he wasn't sitting in the car, he was torturing people.
That's okay. I scouted the entire city and the area around it pre-battle for us with a familiar
Mm-hmm.
before the
That's-
ocean battle. I built bombs for us. Lots of bombs.
I miss that character.
Lots of. That was a lot of items.
It was.
I found out the information via torture that normally would take hours. Because let's be honest here, torture takes hours until somebody walks up and goes, "Oh, you don't want to talk to us," and your arm is now solid gold.
I just would like to point out that torture doesn't actually work. But okay,
I mean,
it's a story
it depends on the
narrative.
actual type of torture you use. Because Chinese water torture is very effective.
Mhm.
Physical torture, not so much. The shock and awe of it can sometimes be useful, but more often than not, it's the psychological torture that you've got to go at. So,
And Anyways,
That's why I want to make a torturer who's a wizard who does modify memory, then removes curse. So day by day, this guy never knows what he truly remembers, what's actually a memory.
Oh, that's evil.
Mm-hmm. That's why the School of Enchantment and Illusion are some of the least moral schools of magic.
I mean,
They say necromancy is evil. Oh no, an enchanter is the most evil.
Transmutation can be nice.
can we just agree that magic is basically amoral? As in, it depends on what the caster is trying to do with it.
That's very true.
That's why a majority of wizards are neutral.
Now, the majority of wizards are neutral because they spent all their lives sitting in libraries and never developing personalities.
Well, no, like they
I'm
also
myself not
actually
wizard.
understand the planes. Like
Sure,
Mordenkainen, for crying out loud, is the epitome of that. He understands balance and understands that everything outside of balance is secondary.
That sounds lawful to me.
No, because he would destroy lawful societies to ensure that chaos could have a proper amount of reign.
So you're
That's
saying
why one
But that's
side
still
can't
awful
win
itself.
blood war.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that he has a strong personal code. Interesting.
He does. This is why you can't have a debate about alignment as if it was a set thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alignment is very fluid, and it's also very much in the opinion of the person who's playing the character.
I mean, that person is still. There are times where that person is just going to be straight up wrong. But
Like
okay.
Valdir, like for crying out, Valdir is chaotic neutral in this.
Remy was gonna be neutral good, but that was only if I was gonna make him in his 40s. It's like, nah, I'm gonna make him young. He's gonna still be at his chaotic neutral.
So he's going to be neutral annoying. Got it.
Why do you think he's gonna be annoying?
Because that's what his introduction was. Basically.
He literally walked up and said hi,
Yes,
and you
completely
walked
annoying.
away.
See?
Because saying hi is annoying to people.
Also, blue guy over Valdir. Also stopping me from hurting other people. That's annoying.
When did I stop you from hurting other people?
What?
Oh, are you talking about the fight with GFJ?
Yeah.
I
That
didn't
could have
even.
taken you.
I just dimension doored over there and stood in front of him and said, "Don't. He's a friend."
See? Stopping.
But you said you were civilized.
I did. I talked to him, and then he attacked me, and now I was like, okay, time to die. But you were like, no!
Anyways.
Do I need to put you in a bubble?
Anyways. Next
That was a
character
fun way
for-
of getting you dead.
Next character for me probably is going to end up Paladin. Hang on. Just Oath
What
of Ancients
cause will you
Paladin.
be dedicated to? Given everything V names?
No, just Oath of Ancients. Making people a little happier.
Okay.
I mean,
Interesting.
While potentially struggling with depression.
why don't you make your dreams druid?
Because we don't have Xanathars, you potato!
It's so much fun.
Listen, I loved Moss. Moss was fantastic. I like Moss as a character concept. And I'm very thankful that you let me play him. I will say he can probably be the most annoying thing to fucking hit, though, considering, the hidden pathways at 15. God, that was so much fun. Such a bullshit thing to do, but so much fun. Petrie, I told you about this, King. Petrie, GFJ, Magnus. What effectively at level 15 with Dream Druid is you get a teleport that you can teleport a number of times per day to a maximum of 60 feet, equal to your Wisdom modifier, right?
Okay.
So I was able.
Okay.
So I was able to keep teleporting around a battlefield. I did it, I think, twice before I was stopped. No, I did it 3 times. All while a spike growth was on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I had them come towards me one way, poofed the other direction, had them come towards me the other way, and then poofed back. I just kept doing that. It was beautiful.
I mean, if you can pull it off, do it.
Yeah. I think I did, what, 20 points of damage with that?
Nice. Pretty good for a couple turns.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we
Just
wish
with spike
that,
growth, that's all. I was very pleased with it.
I really wish that the other 2 main supplements were included because the different races
Now,
and
at what level do you get that?
It should be 10th.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Should be 10th or 11th. Let me check.
You
Go
kept
ahead,
saying 15.
Wasn't that what we were playing at? No, we were playing at
No.
10th.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. No, yeah, we got it at 10th. It's at 10th level.
I thought so.
Let me just check and make sure that was at the right point, because I believe it was. I believe it's at 10th
I think
level.
you're right. What were you saying, King?
Yeah, 10th level.
that I wish the Follows guide and Xanathar's guides were also included in this particular campaign because they just have so much new stuff that I want to try out.
Mm-hmm.
Sass.
Like, for crying out loud, Zealot Barb. Just best Barb.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what? I will take this time to actually look up what the Solar Bar does.
It is I do not fucking die.
Each time I'm looking this up.
That is literally all it does. It is fantastic. Well, no, it's not all it does. It does more than that. It's
Where's
good
this?
at a lot of stuff.
Xanathar's?
Yes, it is in Xanathar's.
Okay.
Oh!
But I really want to play that Forge Cleric I told you about, because that would be so much fun. So expensive and so costly. God, it would pay itself back.
Nara.
Yeah?
You know that cosplay I sent you? Those 2 pictures of cosplays of people doing cosplay of not in
Yes,
Caduceus?
I remember.
They-
I remember those.
Alec got cosplay of the week or whatever from Critical
No
Role
way!
on Talks Machina. Yeah.
Oh, serious? That is amazing.
Congrats.
Serious congrats.
Yeah. She got flooded on Twitter. They got flooded on Twitter. But
As
yeah,
I suspect anyone who gets that does.
it's not like anybody's gonna commission them for anything like that.
But
They're
still,
just gonna go say
like,
hi.
Yeah. And congratulate them for a freaking awesome costume.
Yeah, and I think they're getting a Wormwood box slot of it this week.
Nice. That's awesome.
Can't remember
When
what
you
they got
choose
for
a
it.
third level divine
past week, yeah.
fury.
This past week, they were very attached to that Wormwood box. They liked it very much.
Was that because that was the episode where they were sniffing it, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So Gravita cosplay or whatever.
Yeah.
Gravita. Yeah. That is.
Good stuff.
But yeah, now you see why that subclass is so good, King. It is literally, you can't kill me.
I mean, you can die.
You can, it's just really fucking hard for you to stay dead.
Yeah, that's true. Unless your party doesn't have a cleric.
Yes, that is
Well, I
entirely
mean-
true. But if you
No.
are...
A paladin works just fine.
No, paladins don't get revivify, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Mhm.
I don't know this because I've never played paladin.
It's a divine class. Divine classes generally get raised dead and or with the 5.
Well, technically, since Druid's a divine class, according
Druid's
to
not a divine class.
They are a divine class. You shut your mouth.
They aren't.
Technically, they should be a nature class because nature magic should still be its own bloody thing.
They worship nature. It makes it divine.
They don't. They don't
They do.
worship anything. They believe
Yes,
in
they do.
maintaining a balance. That's why they are normally followers of the base book god, whatever her fucking name is, the goddess of the harvest or whatever.
Korean Luthien. I butchered
That's
that
it.
name.
No, that's the elven god, the first
Yes.
elven god, the main elven god, the one who cursed the elves.
With what? Pointy ears?
Hey,
No, with the inability to return to him. That's why elves reincarnate. It's a really fun story in Tomophoes.
Mieliki is the one I think you're looking for.
One of them.
Because Mieliki is, he was, where the fuck did it go? I just had it. Goddess of nature, and then Malar is god of the hunt. Why? What the fuck is the god of the hunt chaotic evil? I have many problems with this.
Because hunting things is bad.
The wild hunt is an established trope and can be a freaking good thing. I call
PETA would
this.
like to argue with that. Animals don't kill animals. PETA kill animals. You should know
PETA can
this.
suck down a longsword.
ooh.
PETAs don't have long swords.
Yeah, I'll let them borrow mine.
What did I just hear about a longsword?
I said PETA can suck down a longsword.
hey, who
Oh,
has that
yeah.
short sword right now,
I didn't take it from you.
by the way?
Or from...
Does GFJ have it?
I think so.
Yeah, because I didn't take it.
Sorry, what about me?
You have
Short
the
sword.
short sword, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I marked it off of my inventory without noting somewhere in any of my notes what I did with it, so I was thoroughly scared.
Oh
That
yeah,
you
we just
lost.
left it back there, that's all. We didn't need it anymore.
Anyway, so I just want to say the fanatical focus at level 6 is,
Should probably
situational.
not do that.
It
should
looks
have-
nice, but I really don't like that. It only works for one turn.
I mean, it's the same as the samurai's ability, except it goes to all allies instead of just himself.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
the samurai's ability is much more balanced though, because it's basically +5 temporary health and advantage on attacks. That's pretty much all it is. This one is advantage on all attacks and saving throws. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
which means
mean-
that you can have your entire force fighting, I don't know, a dragon or something, and suddenly they all have advantage on that dragon's attacks. And if it's got its breath weapon back, they all have advantage to avoid that breath weapon.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I
just
just,
saying.
To
I'm just saying
interject,
it's a bit
which fork
overpowered
is the
for.
important one?
What, GFJ?
Which fork is the important one? It's the F fork, right?
Yeah, it's the fork.
I'm just saying, that particular thing is a bit overpowered at level 6.
I concur, but it only lasts one round, as I recall.
Yeah, but that's still 10 other people. Like, if you knock it down to 2, it
It
would
also
be reasonable.
depends. Does it start at the beginning of your next turn, or does it end at the beginning of your next turn?
It says, and it's fanatical focus. Oh no, that's not, it's zealous presence at level 10. I'm sorry. Bonus action, battle cry. Until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where it is. That is pretty strong.
It is freaking strong.
Fanatical focus. Well, Zealous Presence, that's 10th level, not 6.
That's what I just said.
Thank you. Which balances it
10th
out.
level isn't that bad.
Yeah, 10th level is...
You want to talk about a broken
Well balanced.
class, though? Broken class, period? The Warlord from this, that they made in that stream, one of the live streams, which I'm using against my players.
Oh god,
Wait,
no. Be kind.
They resurrected the Warlord from the 4th edition? That's interesting.
It's not that broken the way that I fixed it, because I've given them no longer 15 uses of their tactical insights. And
What the
tac-
Nonsense.
15
Yeah, it's a-
uses?
It's a leveling it's a table that's like got 2 levels per thing, and it goes up drastically to 15 uses.
No.
But here's why. And I kind of understand why, because they changed a lot of it to be an action.
Let's see, Warlord, D&D Beyond.
That's still no. Even with it costing your action, going off of what's base for other classes, that's still way too fucking much.
Oh, it's just a subclass of fighter.
Yes.
I see.
But it's so what I did was I decreased it down to uses equivalent to the character's charisma score. For now, just
That makes-
because
Mhm.
they're directing people. The thing is that they're gonna have to go. If they don't do good at sneaking, then they're gonna get caught by Fladborg, the Jarl of the local Jotun village.
Let's see.
He's a warlord, and he
Warlord
very
giant?
yes.
Jesus.
4 tactical maneuvers.
What was it? Oh yeah, so he's not a full warlord. Like the only class features he has is I took the abilities from the tactical maneuvers
Mhm.
and gave them to him.
Which is
2 of them. I gave him
reasonable.
2 of them. I gave him shield wall
Mhm.
and the howl one. You and all of your allies unleash this howl. The enemies have to make a saving throw equal to 10 plus or 8 plus proficiency plus dex/strength.
There are so many tactical maneuvers. What the fuck is this?
But the shield wall one, just because shield wall
Mhm.
with giants, with frost
Shield-
giants.
Shield Wall is one of those things where if it's not on a Battle Master, it's not a Battle Master. I'm sorry, you have failed. At, base level. I am so glad they're bringing that back. I'm so glad they're bringing Warlord back. Off of what I've read about, what was it? Because
Why
that's
do you
what,
think shield wall should be on Battlemaster?
not Battle Master, Warlord. I misspoke. I was thinking about something else and did a stupid, because Battlemaster, like the way I was building Rook originally, okay, was kind of supposed to be this field commander, and Battlemaster was like the only way to do this. I want to say remove some of the options from Battlemaster, like the maneuvering strike and stuff like that, because that belongs on Warlord.
Oh, and it's got it, and it's much better.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about, so the actual Warlord, none of y'all are in my game, which is nice. No offense, but I can tell you guys stuff like this now.
Mhm.
The actual Warlord is I made a lycanthrope, pack.
Okay.
They are lightning wolves. Something from Norse. Anyway, the pack leader is a warlord. He is a straight warlord.
Mhm.
And his pack are the people he's going to be commanding. And I just realized that my party is very bulky. They can hit hard. They can. Their 3 tanks can take a lot of damage because they have a samurai fighter, a paladin, and Path of the Zealot Barbarian. So they are tanky. But one of those maneuvers is a bonus action, and it's as the bonus action you do, you grant your allies the ability to force enemy creatures to make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Mhm.
They're wolves. I gave them pack tactics.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
The wolves, the regular wolves don't hit that hard. They deal about 8 points of damage. No, sorry. about 16 points of damage on average, because they do a little bit of lightning, but a lot of my party is resistant to that, which is hilarious. Yeah, it's just funny. It's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be
Jesus
fun.
Christ, can we talk about White Raven Strike? What nonsense is this? Choose an enemy within range. All allies within melee range of the target can use their reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the target. All attacks have a bonus to hit equal to your intelligence modifier. That is absurd.
I think what they're trying to pull from that is like kind of an Odin-esque like insight, hit the commander, kill him specifically.
The
And it's
problem,
supposed to help you bring down large targets.
like,
Giants or dragons.
and it's just, this is
A little bit broken? Yes.
very broken. I also don't like how it also relies on intelligence and charisma for some of the
No, that is one of the biggest things that makes sense about it.
right, but you're a fighter. You're supposed to be
Yes.
pouring dumb stuff in. Okay.
No! Not every fighter is the same, King. You can have a mad fighter.
I'm just saying that in theory you're supposed to have two stats to focus on, your attack stats and your con, basically. Unless you're as a fighter, is what I'm saying.
You can have a mad fighter. You don't have to have a
But-
frontline fighter.
but-
This is supposed to be built kind of more as a backline.
Right, so it's probably
Mid-level.
going to be a dex
Mid-level.
fighter.
Most likely.
And what I'm saying is that this is relying on 4 stats instead of just 2 stats. Which is a
might
bit,
make sense for why it's so, broken.
and yeah, it's just, I don't like relying on, like, substituting charisma for intelligence or the other way, I'm fine with. It's just the way that this is, like, both of them at the same time is silly.
See, here's how I'd like them to change it. Okay, you know how Battlemaster has it specifically? Oh yeah, you gain a bonus equal to your charisma modifier for rally, right?
I don't actually know Battlemasters, but let's go with that.
Okay, with rally you get a bonus to temporary hit points when you make the maneuver. Okay, plus your charisma modifier. For the maneuvers, you should have the option between them. So do you want to play the smart Battlemaster and have very specific maneuver that are keying off your intelligence, or do you want to play the charismatic Warlord, where some of the maneuvers or stratagems, as I believe they're called, key specifically off your charisma? So do you lead from the front or do you lead from the back? So that you
Actually,
only have to focus on
they're
3.
gambits and insights.
Ugh. Stratagem sounds better. Oh well.
I would like to point out that Rabbit Command is also absurd, because that means that your allies get free attacks when they're using your tactical maneuver. That basically means that for each of your 4 attacks at level 15, you can spam White Raven Strike and give all your allies 4 free turns. Just smack, 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 smack.
I see why he made it so broken, because of the multiple attribute dependency.
Also, you've got to
But-
remember, this was something that was made during a stream. It was literally made live during a stream.
Yeah.
It's broken.
And they haven't even put it into UA yet. Like, that's
They
how...
probably won't for a while. Like, considering how Artificer's been received.
I mean,
Maybe they need better playtesters.
yes.
Maybe they need to take their time on them.
Maybe they need to stop
Time?
stealing my goddamn ideas.
Baron, did you post your ideas?
that
So-
says no.
A little while ago, I started writing. My Tuesday game is about to go into the story arc that in my notes is labeled as the Ascension. Right?
I have Vecna.
No. It's nothing to do with Vecna. It's actually, the storyline of the Descent, their new little thing they came out with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one that they have from you.
That was so close. It's so fucking close.
Well, all you need to do is change a little bit. Instead of the 9 hells, you could make it the abyss.
I have.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
um,
Wow. Okay.
The thing about the Descent, though, the thing about the story arc for the Ascension was they were going to start in the Abyss,
Oof.
in the deepest layer of the Abyss, trying to get out. And how were they going to get out? They were going to have to follow the river Styx into the first level of the 9 Hells.
Don't
You know
pay
what
the
you could
ferryman.
do instead?
So,
Here's a thought. Have them choose a side in the Blood War. Like, instead of, you're gonna have to rewrite, but it'd be a very interesting thing to go with. Have them force them to choose a side in the Blood War.
and then they can die and then be reborn, and then they can fight again, and then they can die, and then they can be reborn.
Well,
Or-
more so to escape. Which side are you going to use to get out? Do you play one against the other like a Yugoloth? Do you embrace chaos and try to get out by supplicating yourself to a demon lord? Do you make a deal with the devil and get out that way?
My players are too proud.
Precisely.
I thought about it. I really did. We'll see what happens when they get stuck there. They still have to make it through the Lightning Wolves and the Frost Giants.
Here's what you do.
I still say going with the Blood War route would be fun. They're on neutral ground, they can choose which way they go, and they're in the middle of a goddamn war zone.
I would like to point out that the neutral ground is typically artillery firing spots. That's
Yes, precisely. That's why you would go with it. Because now they've been fired upon by both sides. They can't trust anyone, and they have to make a choice on how they get out.
They can always surrender to Slaanesh and hope that they'll be free one day.
Can I point out there's 666 layers of the Abyss, correct? Right. They're not
no,
all
this
labeled.
is technically an infinite.
According to the Forgotten Realms lore, there are actually only 666, but the 666th is infinite. It keeps going forever.
Okay, because the way I had read that was that, yes, there are 666 known levels of the Abyss, and then the rest is infinite.
I mean, it really comes down to DM's preference, but we just talk about how annoying it is that, the first 20 are named, and then from, 35 to 50 isn't named, and then 50 to 400 is, got a few names in between there, and some numbers aren't even listed.
Yes, that is incredibly annoying, but also a very
And I get the
clever use.
point. Yes, I get the idea. It's like, oh, look, this is the chaotic plane. This is the true chaos plane. It's almost like Pandemonium. And I'm like, but this is a goddamn wiki. Just put the information down.
That's all the information the wiki had.
For number 45, that layer will actually be named Steve, because they can't come up with another name.
The plane 42 is actually very kind.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. Plane 45 is named Moshi. Plane 46
No.
is
Moshi?
named
Toshi! Yes!
Anyways, but yeah, there's problems with the Forgotten Realms. I'll admit, there's problems. I've been reading up on some of the monster lore, and I'm really liking it. I've actually learned quite a bit about some of the factions that I didn't really understand, like Dragonborn, where I had my own anticipation of it. I didn't know about the whole completely other planet thing. That one was new. That one was new.
If you really want to become broken, learn about Dragonborn and Draconians and their reactions with each other.
Oh yes,
There. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something to drink. For
Okay. Sorry for dominating the conversation, guys.
No, that's fine. I don't really have much to say. Just kind of sitting and chilling. Tired.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're the one who elected not to rest.
God damn it.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
More
GFJ's
ranting about.
bad.
Oh,
Sure, not as bad as it was on Thursday.
It's on Thursday.
what did you
That
do?
games?
What happened?
Oh!
Yep.
With the Oh no, they totally deserved all of that. Absolutely. I wasn't there for the original Squid debacle, so I feel okay in not taking any responsibility for any of that. I was there though for the one time we played PvE on Veteran. That did not go well.
I'm sorry, were you talking about? I just came back.
Dev games.
Dev games.
Yep. GFJ roasting the devs pretty hard on Thursday.
Oof.
Yep.
Although we survived a lot longer than 90 seconds, I will have you know.
Yeah. After Richard realized that he couldn't speedrun it.
Well, yeah.
He's still around.
Next conversation topic.
Okay.
How is everyone in real life?
Tired.
I'm gonna dip
Also
out on
tired.
that one too.
Also very tired.
Never
I
mind. Forget I said it.
No, you're fine.
We're having a tiring contest right now, so it's fine.
But yeah,
I woke up to go to the gym, and then I spent all day until like 4 doing yard work.
I have more of my 6 to 2 shifts to look forward to tomorrow.
Is that 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or
Yep.
6? Huh? That's
Either
Okay,
one
come
isn't
on.
very appealing, to be honest.
No, they're not.
Can I suggest that you don't do that?
Money.
Okay.
Money.
If I give you money, will you not do that?
Yes. But it would have to be at least $10 an hour of not doing it.
Here's the thing. I don't have that money.
Correct. So I will have to continue doing it.
Okay.
But no. New Warlord subclass needs a lot of work. Same with the Weapon Master that he did. I was not a fan of that. That needs a lot of work.
Warlord was something from 4, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Most
I
anything from
love-
4 needs work.
See, here's the thing. Warlord in 4 was fine. The problem with 4 is it's not normal.
No.
It's a offspring of 3.5, and yeah. It was supposed to be a simplified version of 3.5. I
And that
liked
didn't
it.
work.
I liked it. It was easy to learn D&D from there. But... And it was nice to specialize into certain skills and whatnot, so you didn't have this proficiency or subclass nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
You had classes, and then you have prestige classes. So, I was fine with that. But, okay.
Yeah.
They just... I understand what they were trying to do with subclasses to make it specialized so that people can play their specific role.
I don't like the idea of subclasses all that much, to be honest.
Well, I'm unfamiliar with the idea of prestige classes. 'Cause I've never
Prestige
played
classes are like.
I know that they're a combination of classes that end up being its own class. That
It's-
I know.
So, like, prestige classes have requirements
Yes.
that other classes can fill, and I think it would be cool as all. Because unlike multi-classing into other normal classes, prestige classes rely on the stuff that you learn from your other class. So it's like if you are a rogue and you multi-class into I guess ranger, you would be level 10 rogue and a level 1 ranger. But you multi-class into assassin, which required a level 10 rogue, you would be something more like a level 11 rogue that's specialized into something.
Valid, but you kind of can do the same thing with the subclasses in 5e. It's just not as, I suppose, mechanically beneficial.
So
As-
it's a lot different, Nara. Prestige classes aren't like your subclasses now. They are focused.
Yes,
Like
laser focus
entirely
meant to be completely
focused.
a new class.
And they
Another
are
important difference is you do not make one choice at level 3 and be done with it forever. You can decide how many levels of prestige classes you want to take. And then you can slap on more prestige classes on top of that if you want to.
Which is incredibly complicated for newbies.
It's not. 3.5 was complicated. 4 had its issues. 4 had combat abilities and things
that
that were
was the
different for each of the
Classes.
powers at different times that they could be used. It had its issues. It was very much like a video game version of D&D.
Yeah,
But it
because
was
they're
also
trying to bank
simpler.
off of World of Warcraft.
But the thing is, what 4E was not complicated in building your character. In playing your character in combat, it was a bit complicated. But everything
And
else
then
was
that's why
straightforward.
5e came around. 5e is as dumbed down and simplified of D&D that they could have possibly made. Without
Which is
just...
Which has helped to its popularity, and has unfortunately been really successful for those who are more veteran and used to the complicated crunch.
Which is why
Sorry.
5e's pretty good. 5e has brought a lot of new players in, but it also allows for veteran players to be able to stay in the new edition just because they keep adding stuff to it. They learned from their mistake of not doing it for 4th, but
Mhm.
and continuing what they did for 3.5 and 3rd edition, which was expansions galore.
You know what, Nate? You know what I'm really looking forward to?
Hmm?
Pathfinder 2.0.
No.
It's coming out in August.
Fuck off.
You shush. Your issue isn't with the system, it's with the group. You shush.
No, issue with the system as well.
The system was
Overly
fine.
complicated, knows in a rulebook the entire time, no way to actually play the game.
See, that's the players and the dungeon master
No.
not knowing how to.
King,
Yes.
No,
the
we
difference
had a
you're
knowledgeable
having-
dungeon master. We were still
Hold on.
reading the
The
rulebook.
difference we're having here, King, is that you are a programmer.
Okay.
Okay. Hold
I
on.
started
listen,
playing
listen,
D&D
listen,
before I learned programming.
Listen. Let me finish. Okay. You understand. Apply this to this. Keep applying. This can be applied here. You put it together like Lego blocks, similar to code. You can apply a single string of code that will completely change an entire program. Petrie, not so much. You're thinking in terms of apply 1, apply 2, apply 3, and continue applying processes. That's why Pathfinder works for you.
That's not what Pathfinder is. Fuck you.
Yes.
Pathfinder sucks.
That's as far as I know about Pathfinder.
That's also not
Pathfinder's
how.
just-
That's not how
Pathfinder's
programming
just
works.
3.5.
I
Yes.
have not played
0.5.
Overly
Pathfinder is
complicated.
3.5.5.
3.75 is how I usually refer to it.
Also
And Nara?
consider.
No, Nara.
Oh,
You
okay.
need to learn a programming language. I'm sorry. What was it that you wanted to say?
Oh no. I'm not gonna say anything now. I guess.
See, Peachy, I didn't say no to you. He's a fuckstick.
I'm
What were you going
aware.
to say? I would like to
Dare
know.
you call me a
Baron.
fox?
So the first podcast I started listening to for D&D in general, because I was curious about it, was a show called Critical Hit, which is a 4E game. So it's a four game. And I was impressed with the story. The Dungeon Master was fantastic, and I was hooked. I'm like, okay, somehow I've got to figure out how to do this. And then started playing, but it was 5e at that point. It's like, okay, I gotta learn more stuff. And it was better than the 4 I'd listened to. And then I started watching Critical Role. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. Now I've got it. So I have never actually played 3.5. I played Pathfinder after listening to 4 and playing 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Explains why I hate it so much.
Yep, it really does. And I understand. 3.5 and Pathfinder are not for everyone.
No, it's okay.
Like,
I tried to play a rogue. Do you know what it takes to backstab somebody as a rogue in 3.5/Pathfinder?
it
Yes,
takes
I do.
It takes an act of God!
I mean,
Welcome back,
technically you
Liz.
can get it from flanking, but the flanking rules got really screwed up in Pathfinder.
Yeah,
So,
no shit.
the easiest way to get a backstab with a rogue is to have another rogue in the party.
You had to be directly across, like 180 degrees across from somebody. I'm like, I'm a
Yes.
halfling. I can't move very fast. This sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But you also took the skill monkey class, which is
Yes,
Should have gone Bard. Bard's better.
bards are silly.
Okay.
Bards are
I am.
excellent.
Hey,
I am-
welcome back.
I am.
Welcome
I am.
Hi,
back.
Lasagna.
Hey. Hey. Okay.
have a hug.
You sound a bit ragged.
A little bit.
You okay? What happened?
I'll be okay. I'd rather not talk about it right now. I'm okay. Just
Okay.
put it that way.
Alright.
Shall we proceed then?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I think we got through Voldir's shift.
We did.
Voldir, are you going to sleep? Is your character going to sleep?
3 hours at the end, nearing the end of his shift.
3 hours?
Well, no, like into his 4-hour shift, he's gonna sleep after 3.
Oh, okay.
I thought you meant like you were going to stay awake for 1 hour and sleep the other 3 hours.
Okay. I mean, that's an
Okay.
option.
Is.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, I'm totally watching.
So Voldir goes to sleep after 3 hours. He will be asleep when everybody else in the party wakes up.
Oh, it's just 2 ships? Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. Technically, it was supposed to be 2 4-hour shifts, but Valdir took a early nap.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
we're in a tiny hut with an alarm.
I mean, when I wake up, the tiny hut's gone,
Precisely.
and
We'll
the
be fine.
alarm. So they're
Isn't
both
the-
8 hours exactly.
Isn't the party invulnerable in the tiny hut?
Yes.
No,
Kinda.
it is a dome that does not allow things to enter. Spell effects cannot enter, but we can be seen. Things
Unless you
can't
make
pass
it
through
opaque.
it. I mean,
Which
ours
he
is
did.
a nice green dome. The main thing is, though, is that with a little bit of patience or even the slight bit of arcana knowledge, you can sit there and just literally wait for the second it drops at 8 hours, and then just be like, and dead.
Do we know that?
Also, they can't see into it. We can see out of it.
It's a
The
nice
dome is
little,
opaque from the inside, from the outside.
Yeah.
it's a nice little
Doesn't-
dome.
Doesn't matter. Nobody saw you other than a bird flying by. So, you know.
We see a bird with a broken neck at the line of the 10-foot mark.
No, it didn't hit. It didn't hit. Although,
I would like to point out that Naro has enough problems in real life that we don't need to remap his problems. Just
Oh,
saying.
All right, shall we proceed then? As the rest of the party wakes up when they find Valdir asleep. It is now 8 hours for the rest of the party, four for elves. Therefore, everybody is in good shape. You can remove any points of exhaustion unless you're Valdir, who needs to get the rest of that. Actually, no, Valdir didn't take that point of exhaustion. So yeah, there are no points of exhaustion right now.
Valdir needs to sleep for another hour before he can.
3 hours, because you said 3 hours into your 4-hour shift you're going to sleep, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you need 3 more hours.
Okay.
3 plus 4. But I'm assuming he slept 4 hours.
He slept 5 hours now.
Gotcha.
At the end of the shift, yeah, he needs 3 more.
What's it like just after sunup?
The sun's already risen a little bit, so it's already in this. It's not like sunrise sky. It's like, you know.
Alright, I need to prepare my spells.
It's past sunrise, but it's still early morning. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I'm okay
You
to
don't have
apply
to go
all the
immediately.
healing effects of a long rest.
Yeah, so you can apply your level ups at this time, and now when your character wakes up, you can apply the level up.
Yep.
Yeah, but all
Magnus,
other.
can you make that disc?
Oh, certainly. Casting as a ritual.
Cool.
Listing is ritual floating disc. Okay.
We're on the disc and we're starting walking.
Oh, he's gonna have a rude awakening in an hour.
Let me get an Arcana check just for the steadiness of the disc, shall we? Just for, you know, hilarity ensues.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, from Magnus specifically.
Okay.
20, yeah, it'll be a steady ride. He won't wake up. Yeah, Valdir, as far as you know, you are sounding nice and sound asleep on the ground.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little bit flat than it used to be, but...
You know what else is flat? The ground. He doesn't know. He's asleep.
Actually, the ground isn't flat. As a Boy Scout, I can go on how bumpy the ground is when you sleep on it.
Yeah.
Don't insert facts into my cool story here. Anyway, let's proceed, shall we?
So every 50 minutes, we're gonna have to set it back on the ground. You're gonna have to remake the disc. We're gonna have to keep going again.
But at least we're moving.
Yes. And hey, we're getting ourselves a nice 10-minute breather in between each.
All right, so how we're proceeding through the mountains, is that correct?
Yep, the same path that we followed to get here.
Got it. Okay. And Remy, I believe you had memorized that path, is that correct?
I don't get a choice. I memorize everything.
Oh no.
I thought you'd toggle that keen mind of yours. Okay. Anyway.
One does not simply.
One does not simply turn off a... Wait, yes you can. You totally can. Prepares an 8th level spell.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring that up. Anyway.
He's very
PTSD.
cautious about walking through doors after a few unfortunate.
PTSD kicks in and stuff. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, since you remember the path, with the floating disc, it won't cost you any extra time. That's fine. We're traveling then. It's going to take you about... let's say it's going to take you about... Because it's going to take you a little bit of time to recognize landmarks with keen mind, but you recognize them and stay on the right path. Let's say it takes you about 8 hours to get back. So it'll be like sun starting to set, basically.
Which
on this-
I'm gonna be making a map of this route while we're doing that with my cartographer tools.
Oh, okay. Going to be making a map of the route. Do you obviously have a parchment and you have a parchment with you? Is that correct?
Yes, I have paper and inks
Okay.
and
Perfect. Go ahead and burn one vial of ink, one parchment, and add one map of let's call it the Mages. Let's call it for right now. Let's temporary name Mages Guild Mountains and leave Mages College Mountains. I'll name them later.
Those are Steve Mountains.
Spine of the world?
Nah.
Not
Not what?
Steve.
Hashtag one true Steve.
Sigh.
One true peak.
Oh my God, Steve's been working out. Anyway,
He became so swole that he evolved into a Tarrasque.
no, he became so swole he evolved. His muscles evolved into mountains.
So that's gun 1 and gun 2. Got it.
so.
The order of the abs somewhere in there. I don't know. Anyway, moving on, shall we? Let's move this marker, shall we?
Thank you for changing the music.
I need to put that back up.
Would hang on. Would
you
you like
me-
would you like to reiterate that statement, Petrie?
No, actually, I've been listening to it for the past 30 minutes.
Okay, hour actually.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
If you like, he can change it back to the screaming.
I mean, screaming was not good.
Or
Right.
just spider skittering sounds.
Hey, no.
Okay.
On a completely different note, Lady Marassi.
By the way, I'm going to declare you all right now on the outskirts of the Mages College at this point, and let this happen before we all get in there.
Right, well, before I go in, I must ask, there's some sort of civil war going on. I God know. Who are the factions? What do they want?
Somewhat unclear.
Looks at Ned.
Ned?
Ned should be with us, yes?
Yep.
Ned is with you, yeah. Yes.
Soon he'll be 6 feet under us.
I'm not killing Ned.
Is there
No
that much of a
kill
drop in
friend.
the elevation?
I would much prefer to stay alive, yes, thank you.
I don't know you and I don't trust you.
Ned's on our side, Remy.
I've met him
It's-
before. He's an alright guy.
At least he's on my side.
But considering what's going on at the Mages College, I certainly don't blame him for not trusting anyone right now. With that said, I would dare say that right now, my top priority is making sure that as few people do stupid things as possible, and that includes within the inner circle. Which, by the way, there is something I should probably mention before we go in. By the way, just to clarify, you're nowhere within earshot of anywhere, even in the surrounding town of the Mages College. You're not even in earshot of that. You can see it, kind of. You can see it. You can see the big Mages College tower, but you don't see any people, and no people are within earshot of you, basically.
Is there
If
any
that
sort of
makes
settlement around the college?
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there is a lively settlement around the college. You don't see the people yet. You're a little too far out to see people.
Right, so would I
But you
say
see
like
the buildings.
large town or what sort of?
Decent sized town.
Okay.
We're talking about a fully functional town outside of the Mages College. Full amenities minus a blacksmith outside the college. Because they have an enchanting room / blacksmith inside the college. Anyway, I should probably mention this. I don't believe I mentioned this to you before, but considering what's going on, this may be useful right now, at least. And it may allow us access to deal with the source of the problem. And he pulls out of his wizard's robe a small crystal. Magnus, Magnus and Remy would immediately recognize that crystal. You would recognize it as one that only a certain select few individuals would be carrying. Those individuals would be members of the inner circle.
What? Oh.
If worst comes to worst, I can get us in. And he puts it back.
My eyes go a little gremlin for a moment.
That said, I would much prefer make sure first that everyone's safe.
Yes.
Before, if it's anything like previous... Excuse me, sneeze, sorry. If it's anything like previous wars or civil wars within the Mages College, or at least the way that they describe them, the initial portion of the Civil War is usually skullduggery, no openness to it, for a couple of days until somebody in the inner circle decides to fry somebody else, and, well, if it's peaceful on the streets, then that means we've still got time.
I think we need to get to our boat and get our people.
If it's
like to
Sass,
know that.
I agree.
That would seem a reasonable course of action, considering that it may be our one and only escape option if things go south.
Could someone fill me in on what exactly is going on here? Sort of stuff going on here, but apart from that, I know absolutely nothing.
Ned's gonna make a roll real quick, hang on.
We don't really understand a whole lot either. What's going on, for the most part, it seems to be, is that there's two different factions that are working on... one faction is working on this potion that is summoning a Hriti to this Jennies, whatever the hell they are. Jennies. Sorry. Calling elementals into other people's bodies.
Nope, they're specifically, Ned speaks up. Actually, it looks like they're only able to summon based on what information all of you presented to me. It looks like they're only able to summon Ifriti in to the physical plane.
That's even worse.
Hey, Magnus.
And the other faction?
They don't like it. I mean, it's illegal human experimentation.
What was that,
It's
Marasi?
illegal elven experimentation, I might point out.
Do we know where the council is? People who are in charge? Specifically,
Who are you
what's her
asking?
face? Magnus.
Magnus, you would not know.
No, I don't. Ed probably does. I don't.
I do, but again, I would much prefer not. If we enter there, I have a sneaking suspicion that when we enter there, we're not going to exit without somebody being dead or completely and utterly incapacitated. So I would much prefer that there be as minimal dead as possible. Yes, I know. The necromancer saying as few dead as possible. Haha, yes, but
I think let's just find our people first, and then we can decide.
I think that is a good plan.
Do we have any idea on why the first faction are doing what they are?
Power. Some
Really?
form of greed.
Why? What on earth are they getting from killing a whole bunch of elves?
Power.
The
Lots
same
of
way
power,
that we
the
got
ability
our
to-
goddamn ship.
This sounds like a little more than just power, though. Power might be one
I mean-
element of it, but this seems like a little bit more than that.
Well,
I'd like some
any
answers.
other reason is, I'd like to fry everyone who works with them to the bone,
On
but
that,
I
we're
don't know
agreed.
if we'll have the power, the ability, or the time.
Oh, we have
We'll
the
know that as
ability.
soon as we get our ship.
We'll make the time.
See, I don't know if we'll be able to do that. Not yet, at least.
Rusty, you remember how we got our goddamn ship?
Yeah.
It was
What's
literally conjured into existence by this fuck.
Well, there's many of them. It might not be the same one.
Yeah, many of them.
By the way, this reminds
Many of
me.
them able to do the same damn thing.
Croesus, if you would please. I need a survival check from you, please.
Fucking hell. That's not something I have proficiency in.
Well, that might be interesting to see what you roll then.
Oh, I do have proficiency in it. I'm still going to roll bad. Yeah.
Rolls the 20.
Mm-hmm. Waiting for it. 19.
19?
See, you were wrong.
Okay.
If
very
I
good.
said you would roll a 1, you would have rolled a 20, so screw off.
Uh-huh. Sure you would.
Okay, I know exactly where Croesus is then. This is good. This is actually very good.
I mean, it's a tunnel. It's that way or that way.
It's that way, or, ooh, I found a way to make even more money off these bodies.
What is there a black market for
Croesus,
organs in the
what tunnel were you going through?
There's a black market for everything if you know where to find it.
I see. Okay.
Croesus, King, what tunnel were you going through?
You guys told me that's where you chuck me in the tunnel with the corpse, with the cart with the
Nope.
other mages in it. No.
No, we sent you
you're
with the
outside.
cart. Yeah, we sent
through
you
the
with
same
the
mountain
cart.
pass.
And this, yeah,
You
I
went through the
over
mountains, my dude.
You went under it.
Got it. Okay.
You took the carts to go get your money. Everybody else went and did the dangerous stuff while you went to go get your money.
I'm happy with this plan.
That's all
I
you
think
have
we're
to
gonna
say.
try to make our way to our boat.
As quietly and as suspiciousless as possible.
Okay, let's, so as quietly as possible, you said, correct?
Mm-hmm.
As quietly or as suspiciousless? Because there could be some differing things here.
Like
I feel like me
tiptoeing
and
to
Magna
the streets
should
to be
just.
open.
Are you being Sneck? Let me ask that question outright. Are you being Sneck?
Yeah.
Those who are
I'm
being
not-
Sneck
I
roll,
can't
Sneck roll.
snack.
Would you want the snack roll with dexterity still, or considering we're trying to be suspiciousless, would that be charisma or something?
That's a good question. Define how you're being Sneck.
I mean, none of us are currently wanted. They don't know who we are.
Are you basically saying you're walking in all cash going, everything's fine, don't worry about it?
Well, more so, what do you guys think? Because they don't
I'm
know
just
who
gonna
we are.
walk down the middle of the, down the pathway. I'm a guy in wizard's robes
Yeah.
at a mage's college. So
And
I'm just
that's
gonna go
not-
for a walk.
You'll make no checks right now. You may make checks down the road if you are not sneaking through the town. If you are trying to not be seen, you'll roll stealth checks. Otherwise, don't roll anything just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Anybody who
Right.
wants to sneak around, you have 30 seconds to make that check.
Valdir's just gonna tilt his hat a little bit lower and go from there.
I'm just gonna walk with Remy.
And I'm gonna be talking to Magnus about this amazing idea that I had.
Ooh, wonderful.
Has to do with enchanting that I would very much want your help with.
Ah, wonderful.
Hope we find our boat. Hope your boat's in one piece.
There is a problem.
I see GFG typing.
Okay. There are going to be no stealth rolls then. Very good. We're moving in plain sight.
I'm looking
Um,
slightly overwhelmed, having never been to any sort of settlement of this size before.
How tall are you, GFJ?
Having size of about 4 feet, I believe. I can just a second. Yeah, somewhere. It's somewhere. Probably by 3 feet.
Okay. This is great.
all right, you arrive at the outskirts of town. Things seem to be operating relatively normally. Business is going on. Hang on. Business is going on. Seems to be a normal day in the settlement around the Mage's College, as far as you can tell.
For right now.
Do
We
we know
built
where
this city. We built this city on slave labor.
Do we know where Croesus is, Valdir? Or do you want me
You're
to tell
more
him
than
to
welcome
get?
to send in to him
That was
or
what I was
message
asking if I should do.
or
At the
maybe a
moment,
phone
we don't know
if
where he could be, but we know he'd probably be getting his money. Our money, technically.
I can just imagine Croesus going, "Yeah, I got 10 gold for these bodies." Pockets the other 90.
Then we talk about the amount of money we get beforehand.
Finder's fee.
Was believe 200 per head? No, I took a note. I took notes of this. Hang on.
I mean, I can do it as well if you want me to.
No, it's alright. I got it.
All right. So, what is the party doing now that we're inside the settlement?
Go to the ship.
Going to the ship. Okay. You head towards the ship. The ship is not there. Or at least you head to the port. The ship is not there.
Okay.
Party panics before they realize they have Lucy, the illusionist mage.
That's a good point.
Do we see the glimmer off the mast?
No. No, you do not.
Can I send to Octaya first? Before I send to Croesus?
Can you pop a spell card real quick, please?
Yeah, it's anywhere on this plane.
Can
It's
you pop a spell
anywhere,
card, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I just want to make sure. That I have the rules right on this card. Okay. Go ahead and send your sending.
Okay. Yeah, Octaya.
May I have?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you have. Go ahead.
No, yours is more important. Go.
Okay. Yeah, Octaya. Where's the ship? We're here at the Mage's College, and we need to find it. That's it. That's all.
You receive no response.
May I do the thing?
Yes. Yes, please.
Hi.
Do something.
Aeon can fly. So, can Aeon fly around?
Have you brought Aeon back? I'm assuming on the trip you brought Aeon back. Is that correct?
What do you mean?
Aeon died.
We didn't make the ritual yet.
Oh, I
Aeon
forgot.
went down in the tower.
No, why?
Wow, you forgot about Aeon.
Look, I've had a lot on my mind this past week.
Make our
Aeon
Christmas
will
saving throw.
remember that.
Pepperidge Farm will remember this. Not sponsored.
Yeah, remember this, really. That's what you're worried about.
No, no. Would I even had the time?
While you're walking, yes.
Yeah, there's a half a day. It's only a 10-minute ritual. You could have done it on tensors
Yeah. I would
But
have
you're
allowed it.
sleeping on the tensor.
after Valdir woke up.
Yeah, kick
The
him off.
tensor is
had
following me.
No.
But
Here's what you do.
May I?
Actually, you would have had to take a 10-minute stop. But yeah, I could. You
Not
could
a
have
big
taken a
deal.
10-minute stop to
It's
do
not a big deal. It's fine.
Here's what you do. You do it while Velder is sleeping, so when Aeon shows up, she can bite his nose instead of yours.
Meh. Anyways, continue, Magnus.
May I? May I have?
You pop your card and you may have. If you would, please. I believe it is your fine familiar. There you go. Fantastic. You may have your Aeon back, at which point Aeon is summoned. And the first thing Aeon does as she is summoned is she kind of flies in front of your face. She squeaks. She sits on your head and claws really deep into your top of your head.
Claws, please.
And then starts flying up with a little bit of hair in her claws, just for good measure, and then flies over towards. You know what? Let's make this fun, shall we? As there are 5 other members of the party here. Let's roll a d6, shall we? With
6 foot Ned.
With no 5. Ned is one of the 5.
Oh,
because,
I see.
Yeah, and 6 is DM's choice.
Oh dear.
It is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Remy, congratulations! You are the proud new nest of an Aeon. Aeon lands on your shoulder and nests up nicely on your shoulder.
I've always wanted to have a familiar.
Magnus, by the way, you were number 1. No, you were number. Wait, no, wait. Did I do that wrong? Yeah, I did that right because. No, I did that wrong. Hang on. I'm sorry. That's wrong. I did that wrong because there's 6, including Ned. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Voldir.
Oh.
Well,
Magnus, you were number 2 on the list. I did it left to right, basically. Voldir. You now have an Aeon on your shoulder, squeaking angrily at Magnus.
There, it wasn't his fault. He tried to make sure that the rest of us were safe. He didn't know it was waiting for you.
Aeon quiets down.
Kind of like holds his arm up for her to crawl onto it.
As I turn to look at Magnus, and then I look at Aeon, and I go, in Sylvan, Aeon, do you speak Sylvan?
That's actually a hell of a question. Hang on.
It's every language the creator knows, as I recall.
Let me just make sure. In familiar variety, it's, if I remember correctly, right? Because if that's the case, because I looked up the languages specifically for Aeon, let me make sure.
I'm no fool.
that's just Naro's character from a different game. Never mind.
No,
I'm
it can't be
presuming-
now. Can't be Naura's character. Starts with
I
an M.
don't see anything associated with languages.
If I remember correctly, she should know the languages I know. I think
Do you know Sylvan though?
I do not.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because neither does Pseudo Dragon. So there you go.
Anyways,
That marks one idea off the list of what I thought you might be. Let's go.
anyways, Valdir kind of like tries to get Aeon onto his arm and kind of put her back on Magnus's shoulder, giving her a soft petting. Like the top of the head.
So, I don't want to alarm anybody. Particularly not Valdir. So, Valdir. Everything's fine. The boat is great. But,
She didn't respond, did she?
no. Which could mean a couple different things.
At that particular moment, Rossi, you get a response.
Ah.
Switch over to Twitch tweeted. Damn.
Hey, shush. It'll go into Discord if you do that.
Aw,
That's where all the secret stuff goes.
that's lame.
Gotta have some way to keep secrets.
I mean, there's bah.
So why is there a flying snake in general?
I don't know, but that's why I'm no
super
longer
cool.
looking at General.
I was just commenting on how you guys were trying to be sneaky snacks.
Oh yeah, that species. It's a fantastic species. God, I can't remember the name.
What?
That is the response.
Oh. Yeah, like all the color drains out of Marassi's face, and she's like, worse than we
Start
thought.
sharing.
She's talking about, I should have rolled d20 then, by the way, Liz, unless you did.
I rolled it.
Okay.
I because things and stuff, I
Yeah.
had a delay on the response.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, it passed the roll. I'll put it that way.
Good.
And,
On
and for
another fucking plane?
Yeah. She says it's hot where she is. And I've got to guess that, just judging by the involvement, I would say, of
say it.
Ifriti, she might be on the elemental plane of fire.
That's funny.
With our boat.
That's real funny.
Maybe.
Where are they really?
That's all the information I have right now, Remy. It's hot, and she's on a different plane. Probably should have asked if she was still with the boat, but I kind of guessed she would stay with the boat no matter what.
I can test that later.
Rossi, how difficult is it to get to the elemental plane of fire?
Well, I don't know how to
have
do
the
that.
power to do it.
Ned.
Rossi, as you
Answers.
can cast spells.
Yeah.
As you can cast spells, I need a Arcana check from you, please.
Okay.
I
Also,
can do a
keep
barrel.
in mind that I do not know a lot of higher level spells.
That's okay, but you understand theory.
Yeah.
To some degree, because of your background, and because of that theory, you can make this check,
Cool.
which is sufficient enough to have a starting point with this roll.
Okay.
The good news here is that knowing how and taking time to watch, especially considering a practical application of how, for instance, say, Aeon works. Popping back and forth between planes seems like it's reversible and whatnot. You got to know the right spell to do it. The downside to it in this case is you need to find out who basically anchored them to that plane.
I've got a guess, and I'm gonna go act on it. I'm gonna go march toward the Mages College, and I'm not leaving till I get an answer.
Marassi,
What?
can you walk a little slower?
Why?
I'm 5'5".
I'm 5'2".
And most of that's my waist. Up.
If you'll let me finish for just a moment,
Yeah.
there's a second part to this.
Okay.
There is an alternative solution to this problem. Now, you don't know the particulars of it, but call it crazy here. I mean, it's kind of a thing. It's like, if if this is just kind of a call me crazy idea, kind of in the back of your mind, if an Afridi could summon a boat out of thin air, dot dot dot.
I don't think they're really capable of traveling between the planes on their own. Otherwise, we'd have Rifridi here without killing elves.
When I say I'm talking about theory. When I'm talking about your knowledge of theory.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the dot dot dot. You fill in the rest of that statement however you want to take it. Anyway. Okay, now when I say this, I specifically mean an inanimate object.
Fine.
The rest of it I can't speak to.
Okay.
Who do you think trapped the boat on the other plane?
What's her face?
Ashadi?
Yeah, that one. You guys have been talking about. Said she was in charge of this, yeah?
That's what Ned believes.
Ashari, and yes, if I were to guess as to who's, I don't know if she's the one that would be running it, but if there's any good lead, I would say it goes straight through her, probably on the business end of, well,
Yeah.
I think you know which end is the business end. We'll just carry on.
There's 2 reasons I want to go talk to her. 1, if she is the person that has them trapped, we're gonna kill her. And then free our people. 2, if she's
or
not,
trap them there eternally.
we'll solve that problem when we get there. 2, if she's not involved with it, but she knows who is, then we go after them. We also kill her because we can.
Hang on a second. Let me backtrack for just a second. I gotta backtrack through my notes here. Marasi,
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. You. I'm trying to think. You
I've been
were in the-
teleporting around from place to place out of the Mage's College.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about the timetable. You were never in the underground. Is that correct? You met up with the party at the top of the tower. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that gives me a point of reference here. Bear with me a second. Okay, very good. That's all I needed to know. All right, so that gives me my timetable. Very good. Proceed.
I think this is a very sound plan. What little of a plan it actually is, but it's a starting point.
I'd rather us just get there, get the ship, and get out. Find who we have to do that.
Well, that's complicated now.
I think there's a very definite possibility that we're going to at least end up in the plane of fire, so I think probably prepare for that before we do anything else.
I mean,
I need to check
that's
real quick.
not a whole lot I can help with on that one. Sorry.
Ned,
Why?
Give him
give
a
me a
second.
name.
Give it Les a second. He's got a thing.
Okay.
Name for? I'm sorry.
Who can get us there and back?
Where? The
Where the fuck do you think?
No, I'm asking DM. Plane of fire.
Yes. Plane of fire to the ship.
All right. Oh. Plane of fire. Plane of fire. We're talking about out in the open, or are you talking about quietly? Because those are 2 different people.
Either?
Who's the head of conjuration at the school?
Quiet.
Currently, currently, unless anything's changed within the past couple of days, no one. Because they never nominated anyone yet. in terms of who, but on terms of who you need to talk to get somewhere quietly. Well, you already know who to talk to get somewhere for regular purposes, but that's going to take a lot of time. If you want someone quietly, it's not here. Not the Mages College, at least. Quietly would be over in Everbright University. Or more specifically, quietly would probably be... Well, that's going to depend if it's up in Everwind yet or not. I don't know.
What?
I know he went to Everwind to oversee things over there.
What is up? What might be up?
Well, you know that we were looking to do some expansion over in Everwind to make things a little bit easier for goods to flow and whatnot.
Right.
To Everbright University, just kind of a small station there. Well, there's also a secondary reason why they're putting that there, and that's more so for, well, when you want to keep dangerous artifacts quiet and out of the public view for reasons of, say, destroying them or making them inert or whatnot, you know, we don't want those transported out in the public. So a quiet network of teleportation circles were part of the plan as well. If that part of the network is up, though,
Do you know the runes?
I don't know the runes, but he does. He could get you there, but he would be, if he's going to be anywhere, he's either going to be in Everbright University or he's going to be in Everwind.
So, Liz, how much about planar travel is known to someone of my level of knowledge in the world of being a wizard?
To yours, you would have a rudimentary understanding of transporting within the plane. You would know that there are other planes. You would know how to banish things to other planes. How you would know to transport between planes? Give me a hot sec on that. No pun intended.
Sigh.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Because I'll make the Arcana check if it's required. But me as a person, I'm sitting here and I'm like, you guys need to understand as a person.
Your character doesn't know them yet, but could learn them.
Yeah. As a person, I'm sitting here screaming because, like, if somebody has moved our ship to the elemental plane of fire, even somebody with a plane shift spell can't get us to our ship. We would have to find it ourselves, and we could not survive that.
Oh no, I'm pretty charming.
It's not the charming.
It's not the charming. It's the fact the entire plane is on fire.
We die eventually. Either way.
Or we'd get picked up and sold as slaves in the city of Brass. Like.
So, what I think we should do is.
By the way, point of reference, I do want to make, because this may be an important note to Marasi. It did not sound as if Octaya was in any pain.
Oh, that's good.
When she responded.
Make sure to point that out in particular to Valdir, who I'm still keeping a distance of about 10 feet from, and hope he hasn't killed me. Or succeeding.
I'm happily standing like the awkward nephew in between the two.
Now,
what's going to happen is we're going to find whoever can get us into the elemental plane. Going to find Octaya.
I have a question.
The person to get us out.
I think I have a solution. Octaya mentioned a mage did this to them. That same mage could undo this. Yes?
With some forceful speaking, yes.
Exactly, which is easily done, but the thing is to find that mage. So we don't actually have to go to the plane of fire. We have to bring her back from the plane of fire. Yeah?
It depends, and Ned speaks up. That would depend on how they were sent to the plane of fire. If they were, if they were temporarily shunted there, they would pop back on their own. If they were permanently shunted there, um, that's a little different. But if they were temporarily shunted there, finding the mage could speed up the process, so to speak.
There wouldn't have been enough time for a permanent banishing, don't you think?
Yes, there very much would have.
It took us a
I'd
whole
like to
day
point
to
out
get
that
back.
the party has been gone. Other than Marassi, the party has been gone for approximately 2 to 3 days. Marassi has, in 24 hours, gone to the tower and back. But Marassi has been incommunicado with the outside world for the same amount of time. So the party has been out of contact with the outside world for about 2 to 3 days.
Ned, name, location. Tell me who I'm
Valdir,
killing.
you need to shut the hell up and calm down.
Ooh.
I know you're in love or you care about this woman or whatever the piss she is that runs your boat. But you need to calm down and think logically before you get everyone else killed because you want to go on a tirade. We need to know exactly what's going on, not just woman is somewhere.
Naura, real quick, you're asking for name and location of person that can get you to the plane of fire, or what name and location are you looking for?
Either the person who can get him to the plane of fire to get Noctaya out, or the person that he suspects would have put Noctaya in.
He's already given you name and location of person he thinks is at the top of this, or at least is directly responsible, or somehow directly responsible for this coup. That's Ashari.
Great.
Uh,
Location.
that's it. Mage's College Inner Circle. That's basically go up the tower top floor where all the important mages are, so to speak. If you're talking about the other person, give me a sec on that. He already gave you location either in Everbright University or in Everwind. He does not know the exact location, but it would be one of the two. In terms of name, give me a sec on that. Proceed in the meantime.
Follow-up question: Do you allow acrobatics for climbing checks?
I do, yes.
Good to know.
I will,
That's
depending
all.
on what you're. I don't necessarily have to have a check based on what you're climbing and how high you're climbing, but depending on what you're doing, I will likely require it.
Based on the context, I'm going to say he's going to climb the towers themselves.
Hey Ned, can you just get us into that top? Get us into that top area.
I can, yes.
Good, because we have a meeting that we need to go to with Ashari, if you please.
All
I
right.
don't think that's a good idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
I think if she has more than one top leader in the Mages College on her side, I like to. I'm gonna be honest. I used to enjoy doing duels when I was younger and when I first started learning magic. It was always fun for us to duel each other when I was learning in the Isles, but real duels against people who are much more skilled and much older than I am, that scares me. There are
Remy.
magics out there that can destroy
Remy.
this entire island on its own.
Remy.
You are a son of the Isles.
Remy.
You know damn well what happens when you threaten our own.
Who said
Real
anything
quick.
about going in there to have a duel? I just want to talk to her.
Can I roll insight on that?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Go
Insight on
ahead.
what? Insight on what? Sorry.
On Marassi, she's
Marassi,
being sarcastic.
let me get a.
Rossi,
let me
make a
get
deception check.
Yeah, go ahead. That's the DC.
If I can find insight, that's.
Although
Remy,
you are a
a
monk.
son of the Steel Isles.
There we are.
You know damn well what we do and what threatens our own.
Let me get
Yes,
that.
but
Let me
we're
get
also
insight
not
check.
stupid.
As you don't sense. I mean, as far as you can tell, Marassi's telling the truth. You do not sense any sign of lies or deceit coming from Marassi.
I'm more checking for sarcasm.
You do not. Wait, sarcasm from Marassi? That would
Yeah.
depend on tone, and that would not require a roll. Marassi, are you talking in a sarcastic voice?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know what you mean, and I know what you both mean. We need to go in there with a clear mind, because we can't be rash about this. We have to understand that we may not be able to fight them today.
So we don't go in there guns blazing. We walk in and say hi. Our friends are missing. We're looking to find them. Can you
I
help
would.
us?
It may be a little bit more difficult than that, but
Oh, I'm prepared for the difficult part, and I'm gonna cast Mage Armor and bring out my Abjurationist Ward,
okay. Mage armor at what level?
first level, because that's all
First
it
level.
requires.
Okay, just making sure that you're not trying to up the voltage, so to speak.
No, since we had a long rest, my ward is at its full 22 hit points anyway.
Very good. Just making
Um,
sure.
I'll
Always
mark
ask.
that as a marked.
I just would like to point out that a mage armor is visible. So,
That's
I mean-
listen. Considering what's going on, if you were to walk into that meeting with Mage's armor, and Remy would kind of have an idea of this, no one in that room would bat an eye.
They might be, and I doubt they would even bat an eye at the fact that I have, as an abjuration specialist, I'm walking around with a little floating rainbow that just floats around me.
If you had your ward up and visible for everyone to see, they would give zero flying fucks right now. Like
It's a wizard thing. We're squishy, we know it.
It's like it's like Remy's going in there going, somebody's going to take the first shot, and I'm not going to be that idiot that's in there unprepared.
Enough. We move.
Okay, so to confirm, you're heading to the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Head into the tower, but before we get to that, Croesus, I believe we need to take care of some business on your end. I think
That's what I forgot to do. Damn it! I was gonna use sending to message the orc that doesn't like me.
Half
That's
orc.
okay. That's okay, because we're going to the business savvy half orc here, who is currently doing half orc fullness like. I'm gonna quote that actually.
Mhm. Keep making comments about my ears, though. You're gonna have two that don't like you.
That's King Sangya, I will point that out. That's not Croesus. Croesus doesn't care.
Okay. Next. Let's go to Croesus. Croesus, who is currently on the, because I'm assuming you're making a beeline for deal with the bodies, get paid, be done, right?
Are they both dead? I thought only one was dead.
One was dead, one is unconscious and still taking a long dirt nap. I mean, you listen, that wall over there, I'm sure if you went back to the tower, still has a fine Picasso painting of his bloodstains. It's a work of art.
Sure.
Yeah. Better than those books, that's for sure. Especially the ones that try to kill you.
What books have been killing me? Oh yeah,
No,
the
the
magic book.
The magic book of glaive to the face. Remember that one?
I do remember that one. Yes. It's still my glaive too. It's the book of stealing as well.
I know, they're so rude and everything. See, books are
Anyway,
bad.
moving on.
Who needs reading? Yes, anyway, moving on. You are currently on the third floor of the tower. Which I do not believe the party has been to the third floor of the tower, if memory serves me correct. But you're on the third floor of the Mage's Tower right now.
Isn't that where the artificers are?
I'm sorry?
Artificers?
Uh,
The guys who enchant things?
I thought that was at the second floor. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
Not important. Not important. What is important is you're on the third floor of the tower. You are in a decent size kind of a meeting room, kind of a classroom type of environment right now, which currently houses you and two other mages. One of which is surprised to see you so soon.
Yes. I'm here for the bounty.
Ah, yes, you found them. Good, excellent. one moment. And he sends a. He appears to be doing a thing that you've seen Marasi do, where he moves his mouth and no words come out, and somehow communication happens. It's really confusing, and awkward. But for all you know, he could be talking to the voices inside his mind. You don't know. He could
That's
be talking
actually what I assume with Marossi, but going on.
But he pauses for a moment. He says, yes. Good news. The money is on its way. They said it would be about 5 to 10 minutes.
There wasn't any money.
Oh, refresh my memory. What was the?
It's posted in chat.
Thank you. Remind me. Thank you.
Should
Thank you. Thank you.
Be before find familiar.
And
Cross's
some-
enchantment, down payment back, enchantment fee. And if the enchantment fails, he gets 1,400 back. Remy gets free reign of the Abjuris library.
Oh, right. Right. I'll go pull the full thing up. Yeah, it wasn't cash. It was.
The full thing is right there, right above where find familiar was.
See, when you reference to the text chat, I'm suddenly aware of how much I spent.
There it is. Okay, yeah. Down payment on the. Down payment back, enchantment free, enchantment fails 1,400 back. Let me get from the after. Oh, right. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Great, fantastic. Well, here's the reason why. Because the enchantment failed. The attempted enchantment failed. That's why cash was involved. I knew there was a reason why I had cash involved in this. Yeah, the enchantment failed, so there's 1,500 gold that's on its way. For
Okay.
Crow. Yeah, give him 5 to 10 minutes. He said they should be on the way. At which point we switch back to the party, which is at the base of the tower.
Okay.
I will get right back to you here in just a few minutes, Croesus.
I'm actually going to the bathroom, so this works out great.
Perfect. Party, bottom of the tower. And are you sending the sending
Hi.
spell out at this point, or no?
No, I'm preoccupied as Remy's. A lot of things are starting to dawn on this teenager.
Yeah.
Marasi, do the talking.
Sure.
Get us up there.
Absolutely. Hello. How are you today?
Hang on. Before we go in, I'd.
By the way, you can walk right into the tower.
Oh.
There's
There's
you
a
can
doorman.
literally. Well, actually, right now there is not. You can just walk right into the tower.
What's going on,
Okay.
Philon?
Before we go in, honestly, I think we should give diplomacy a shot. If it doesn't work, no, listen. If it doesn't work, we lose nothing. But right now, we're going to walk into what I presume is a very powerful mage, who is quite quickly can wipe us out. Although, if we do go ahead, I am going to have to say that you, Valdir and Marasi, stay behind, because you guys are evidently too hot-headed at this time.
What?
As this argument is going on, Ned just makes a beeline right through the door.
That was to get up.
And
What's
he's got
his-
he is walking with a purpose right now.
Can I follow Ned?
Yes.
Valdir's following
I
Ned.
follow Ned.
What speed is he running at?
I'm gonna follow Ned. I'm not staying down here.
He walks up to the front desk. He pulls out that same crystal he showed the party earlier, puts it on the desk. He looks the clerk dead in the eye. Top floor, now, meeting.
Yes.
And this clerk is scared out of his damn mind right now. This is a face you've never seen from Ned before. A deadly serious face. Cold stare right into his eyes. If looks could kill, this man has laser beams coming out of his frickin' eyes right now. The clerk is just petrified in fear for a couple of moments. He goes, yes, sir. One moment." And he gets a piece of paper, or a scroll, I should say, hands it to Ned, and he just kind of smiles. He says, "Thank you." The type of smile that kind of looks like the calm before the storm smile of "I'm going to fuck shit up" smile. And he starts walking again with a purpose.
I follow suit.
Do
Same.
not escalate the situation.
Felon.
He is,
It's okay.
to confirm, he is not walking up the stairs. He is not doing any of that. He is walking in a different direction right now. He is walking behind the desk. Oh, and by the way, they're coming with me. And he points to the party and motions for them to come with him.
I follow.
Mm-hmm.
I turn to him and say, "You don't have to do this if you don't want to."
I need to. I like those people. They were nice to me. They helped me when I didn't have a way off of an island that I got stuck on.
And when you get behind the desk, you walk down a hallway, take a right, go through a hallway. There's no doors in this hallway, by the way. It's just hallway with a little bit of low light, but some light, so you can see. And then it takes another left, and then another left. And at the end of the hallway is absolutely nothing. Ned opens the scroll. And anybody who can cast spells, Arcana check, please.
Please be decent. Oh, yeah.
For those of you who rolled at least a 13, you would be able to see that. Actually, hang on. Marossi, you have the spell, if memory serves me correct. Let me check. Marossi, do you have Dispel Magic or no?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't know then. Remy and Magnus would be able to tell that there's a Dispel Magic spell being cast.
I detect magic?
You detect no more magic there.
You know he's casting a spell. Like, he's reading a spell off there.
Oh, yeah.
Off that scroll,
Same
but beyond
thing,
that.
other direction.
He is dispelling something, at which point a circle appears before you, which is very clearly a circle of teleportation.
I memorized what it looks like and keep going.
You can't keep going, it's into the hall. If you keep going, you go into the circle.
Well, I follow
Whereas-
Ned, but I'm taking a... Like, I'm moving with the group, but my eyes are locked on this circle. I am memorizing every inch of it.
Keen mind then, okay. After he finishes reading the scroll, he puts the scroll back inside his robe. He turns to the party. The moment we walk in there, I would highly advise that you keep your ears open and your mouths shut. There's going to be a lot of things that are said in there that are intended to raise your ire, to make you make a mistake in judgment. And there are going to be a lot of people in there who are itching for a chance to claim the moral high ground and attempting to kill anybody who they perceive as a threat to the college.
I will not let any level of sophistry draw us out of our true intentions.
Good.
If they see to out someone who has it out for the college, they should shoot me on sight.
Maybe not the best thing to lead with there, Magnus.
Oh, of course not. But do you remember what happened all those years ago?
Yeah, we're not gonna bring that up, clearly.
Oh, I'm not going to. Of course not. I just like to see the look on their faces.
We'll get to that.
I'm
Hey, Ned.
excited.
Hey,
Well,
Ned,
first we get her back.
can I cast a quick spell?
Sure.
Okay.
You have time.
I'm asking
You
Ned.
basically-
It'd be okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ned basically is telling the party, the moment we walk in there, you better be ready for anything. So if you have if you want to cast anything, now is the opportunity to do so before you walk in. He will allow any time that you need to do anything that you want to do.
Sweet.
Comprehend language is
Just
cast.
in
Okay.
case.
And
Okay.
I'm also doing this.
Detect magic as a ritual or as a regular spell.
I'm gonna wait until we go up, and I'm spending the spell slot.
Okay. So you will wait until you're in there. Okay.
I'm waiting until we step on the magic circle to go up, because it's a 10 minutes. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna let it go away for the ritual.
Okay.
You
Very
know
good.
what? I agree with Marossi.
Comprehend
Spending-
languages.
One spell slot now.
Okay.
You know, I didn't take that spell because I speak 8 languages.
I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. That's why I have this
Well, if you
spell.
ever want to learn, I'll be happy to teach you some languages.
Oh, friend. Oh, bestest friend.
It sounds to me like we have bestest friends forever coming up here. Anyway,
I'm getting there. Shut up. No, bards actually don't have a lot of languages they learn. All the things that I've had so far, things that I've learned so far, were outside of that.
just wait until this particular build hits close to max level. You'll be wondering what, instead of asking what she does have proficiency in, you'll be asking what she doesn't have proficiency in.
Assuming we get to that point within the next decade.
We're gonna live. It's gonna be fine.
I'm talking about real life.
Wow.
Anyways, we move
Wow.
on.
I just want to point out that we level up like 3 times in 2 months.
For flavor, I'd like to use this, just for flavor.
Alright.
Nice.
Oops. Okay, so stillness of mind, you can use your action so that is so you can end one effect on yourself that is causing you. You're not being charmed right now, so
As that, just flavor.
oh,
He's
flavor.
just kind of taking a moment to center himself.
Very good. Okay, so you kind of do a quick moment of meditation, clear your mind. It is calm, it is still, it is ready for anything.
Welcome back.
And Ned looks over all of you, looks at the portal. Follow me. Or not the portal, the circle. He steps on the circle and immediately disappears.
Okay.
I follow after him.
I'll follow as well.
As do I.
Indeed.
Third in line.
All right, everybody's going in. It won't matter the order going in.
I know. Just,
In this case, yeah. Let's switch back to Croesus.
Just been leaning back against the wall.
Mhm.
Just ready.
Yeah, you lean back against the wall. I've got some good news for you, Croesus. A third mage enters the room. He does not have a sack of money on him. Instead, he has a small chest of money.
I see.
He opens it up to show that there is indeed lots and lots of gold inside of it.
Cool. Glad doing business with you.
Indeed, nice doing business with you as well. And one of the mages walks up beside you. Says if you'd like to count the money, it's all there.
Heinz, zwei, I?
Yeah. Insects.
Yep.
I just.
So what language is German in this universe?
Dwarvish.
Yeah. A little bit.
Oh, no.
I was gonna say draconic.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Give me a second.
15.
Give me a
Enough.
second. Give me a second.
Would be primordial.
Give me a second. As Croesus, can you do me a favor?
Korean.
As you're counting that money, can you do me a small favor and roll a charisma save, please?
Sigh.
Let me check spell DC. Give me just a second, because that's going to be close. I have to double check levels as well of these. Let's see. It's 8. It should be 8 plus mod plus proficiency. So it's going to be 8 plus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ty goes to the save, right?
Tie goes to the person. It's like AC.
Uh-huh.
Tie goes to attacker.
Ty goes to the attacker.
Yeah, that means that
I mean-
that makes a save if it's equal to.
Yeah, it's equal to the
Yeah.
14 because the DC is 14 in this case.
Yep.
Was it friends? Because I had that cast on me before.
That doesn't have a save.
Oh, these are the
Yes, it
bestest of
does.
friends here. See, this friend was going to help you take you to your other friends. Except
What?
he failed.
What
Yeah.
spell was it?
You know, there
Mind
are...
blank. Yay.
Nope, actually, no.
Pretty sure I know that a spell was cast on me.
Oh, a spell was definitely attempted to be cast on you, but let me see if you get to know. Let me see. Hang on. I have to double check this.
Basically, I feel like if it's a spell that's been cast on me before, I would probably know it.
It
and
has not, actually.
It's banishment.
It has not been cast upon you.
Can I make an Arcana roll?
Give me a second. I want to make sure
Okay.
that... I need to make sure. I need to double check the mechanics of this to make sure I'm doing it right. Let's see. It does not say. The only thing that you know is that a spell was attempted to be cast. Actually, no. Let's do this. Let me get a. What's your passive perception?
17 now.
17. Yeah, you'll be able to see this. Yeah, a spell was attempted to be cast upon you, but whatever it was, fizzled, and it was the one that was sitting right next to you.
I just slowly close the box. Look up to that guy.
No, he's standing right next to you. He, in fact, put his hand on your shoulder as he was casting the spell, whatever it was. Yeah, so he's right next to you. Actually, directly to your left.
You said there were 3 mages in this particular
Yeah,
room.
one of them is holding the box. One of them is standing to the left of you. One of them is standing behind you.
Ah, I see. Do you want me angry? Because that's how I get angry.
He just kind of takes a couple steps back. He's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh, yes you do. And I'm keeping an eye on the mage behind me. The one that's holding the box should be fine as long as both of his hands are on the box.
Both of his hands are on the box. Both of his hands are on the box, yes.
Trust me, I have been doing this for a long time, and I know exactly when something's being cast on me.
Why don't just because we can make this happen, how about an intimidation check from Croesus?
Well, if he wasn't going to give me an answer, I was going to say something intimidating, but fine.
Yeah, he's actually not going to answer you. 22. These mages are scared AF.
My next, my in character line would be, we can do this my way or the highway, which is outside the window. So.
You know the one that was in front of you?
Yes.
He's kind of got shifty eyes right now, looking at both of the other mages, and the other mages are kind of looking back at each other, and they're slowly backing away from you towards the door, except for the one that's holding the box. The one that's holding the
or else.
You said answers or else?
Answers or else.
The one that was holding the box drops the box, and all three of them disappear.
Like they use a invisibility, I assume.
You've actually seen this spell before, Croesus.
Because the freaking mages in the tower were using it.
Yeah, they one of them used a spell that allows them to. Actually, no, I'm going to make you roll on this because you don't have any. You don't have any spell casting ability. I'm going to make you roll Arcana on this because it could be one of several different things.
Alright then. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know. You just know that they poofed and disappeared, but the box dropped and the coins just start going everywhere in the room.
Well, here's the thing. In literally 2 days ago, well, 1.5 days ago, I bumped into a mage who was invisible. So I'm going to take out my glaive and swing where they were.
You swing. It does not appear to be cutting into anything except the air, in which it cuts very nicely.
Alright then. I assume that. Alright then. I pick up the box, and assuming that I didn't lose that much gold, I will take off with it.
In the box, so you just pick up the box and that's it?
Well, I'm trying to decide how much gold is actually on the floor. If it's like less than 100, I'm not going to care.
I would say that's going to require an active Actually, no, I'll tell you. It's about at least 200 to 300 gold on the ground. You're the exact amount. There's a lot of coins on the ground, but there's at least 200 to 300 coins on the ground.
Okay, I put the box down. I take like 3 handfuls, 2 handfuls worth, and just dump it in the box, and then I wave.
That's going to be about 150 gold then in that case. So we'll put that box worth 1,350 gold.
Sounds good to me. I am out. And I will go down the stairs.
You'll go down the stairs, at which point, Croesus, as you are heading outside the room, let me get a perception check from you, please. Actually, no, we'll do passive perception. 17. Is that Remy you caught down there? Is that Remy that's walking behind the desk, at the clerk's desk? And a couple other party members. I think you see Voldir and.
Oh, good. Someone I don't dislike. Alright.
Yeah.
That way. I'll go down that way.
Okay, you head down that way. You are stopped by the clerk at the desk.
I'm with them. Piss off.
Persuasion check.
Wow.
At advantage based on prior events.
Sounds good to me. Persuasion. It's performance. That's persuasion. It's a advantage.
Yeah, advantage.
That's going. Wow, I needed that.
The clerk is just kind of looking at you, kind of looking back towards Ned over there, and he's like, I ain't getting paid enough for this, and he's just kind of like standing aside.
Fantastic.
You're free to walk through.
Thank you. I catch up with the rest of the people.
Yep, you catch up with them as they walk into what appears to be a circle of teleportation. You've seen circles like this before in the Mages College and in Everbright University, so you know that's a teleportation circle.
Alright, I guess they don't want their money. I'll just dump that into my backpack and toss the box aside so I'm not carrying it.
Fantastic, you toss the box aside. You no longer have a box. You have gold, though, and a lot of it.
I have 1350 gold that I need to add to my 71 gold pieces.
You know what? That was a very profitable job.
Very much so. Let's see. Yes, 1421 is it? And after I do that, I walk into the teleportation circle.
Fantastic. You walk into the teleportation circle. This is good. This is good. Give me just a second here.
As Liz sets up the TPK room.
Woo!
The TPK room? What are you talking about? Nonsense.
It's okay, guys. I have 7 counter spells now.
Okay. Let me go ahead and stop this music. We don't need that music anymore.
Do we need the screaming?
I mean, that's
or is
optional.
that later?
I mean, I could put a dome of silence up somewhere. You can scream in that. I don't know.
Oh, you're so kind, thank you.
I know, right? You can scream as much as you want, and nobody will tell you to turn down that volume. I will, however, put this music up. As the entire party enters the circle, your vision is obscured in a bright flash of light for what seems to be a brief moment. When you come out the other end, your vision returns after a few seconds. You are in a very well-lit large chamber in which 9 other mages are standing, seem to be bickering with each other. Well, all of them except one, I should say. One of them is not bickering with each other. He seems to be the oldest one in the room.
Can we make out anything that they're saying?
That's going to depend. If you can speak Draconic, then yes. Otherwise, no.
So I'm just listening to them.
I can.
I can.
Boy, am I glad I did that spell.
I can.
Oh, okay. Okay. For those of you who can understand Draconic, Marasi, yes.
Excellent.
Process and fell there.
We'll turn that down a touch here. For those of you who can understand Draconic, it sounds to me like what they are discussing seems to be very deep philosophical stuff about, well, let's be honest here, about the use of human life. So it sounds to me like they're about to get to the heart of a very important matter here. Probably the reason you're here, too. And Ned just clears his throat out of nowhere. And the entire room stops talking. But the one that wasn't talking before starts to talk. I see everyone's here then. Ned, so good to join us finally. And Ned responds, oh yes, I mean, you know, traveling does take a little bit of time. I had to deal with pressing matters. I think you'll find my recent findings most educational. As he's looking right at a particular silver dragonborn woman over there, staring a hole through her.
Was she one of the ones talking earlier, or is she talking now?
Oh, she's not talking now. None of them are talking right now except for Ned and the oldest mage in the room.
I think Petrie was talking about what she was the one that was saying the deep philosophical stuff before.
All 8 of them, all the other 8 ones were.
Are they still talking Draconic?
No, they're talking in common right now.
Okay.
So everybody can understand. And you've brought outsiders. Ned responds, yes, well, I would dare say that you would like to hear from them as well. For my findings partly come from their findings as well. I think you might want to hear this, and I think you might want to grab a chair. This may take some time. By the way, Ashari, how are you today? I have not seen you in some time. Ashari responds, not long enough.
Do I recognize any of these voices from the person that I heard say someone knows when we torched the laboratory?
Well, that's a good question.
Additionally, do we recognize the announcer of the Praise the Sun dude?
Croesus, I'm going to get back to you in just a second. Remy, say again, please.
When we torched the alchemist lab in the college, you said that somebody walked in and said that someone knows, and then we heard the fire get even worse. Do I recognize any of the voices here from that voice?
None of those voices that you heard in the room matches the voice that you heard in your mind when it was said. None of those voices match.
All right.
To further clarify, the voice that you heard at that particular moment was a male voice, if that matters to you right now.
It's good to know.
Okay. At which point, every single one of the mages, because they decide to be petty like this, all decide to conjure up a chair in the most ornate and this is almost like a chair measuring contest. I'm choosing not to use the other words associated with this, but they're using a chair measuring contest right now.
It doesn't matter what chair they're using because Petrie can smash all.
I'm paying close attention to this.
So I'm curious which one had to make the tallest chair.
Oh, that's the oldest one in the room.
So that's the one compensating, got it.
No, that's the one who's that's the one who's in
His chair
charge.
is so tall, it actually clips through the ceiling because this one is poorly rendered.
No, the ceiling is a lie, it's an illusion.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
The statement still stands.
He's also the one in charge of this motherfucking room, and he will let you know it. With his chair. I can just picture Marasi in this room going, I want this chair so I can smash someone with it.
I would like what's her face's? I can't remember her name. Ashari. There's something that sounds similar to this, and I keep telling myself, oh no, it's not that word, because that's whatever else this is. Okay. Yeah, I want Ashari's chair actually. Let's beat her over the head with it. But we're gonna get there. I'm not gonna start with that.
We're gonna work our way up to that chair. We're gonna bash her with the 10th chair, and then the 9th chair, and then the 8th chair.
I'm gonna
We'll just
start
work
with
our way
hi,
up
how are you first?
Hi,
Is
how
it
are
like
you?
that
Can I have your
caramelization
chair?
program?
Hi, how are you? How is your chair? Can I have it, please?
Okay, sorry, getting back in. I'm sorry, that was too good to pass up.
I know.
Wouldn't have missed it for the world.
No. So all the mages sit down in their fancy chairs like they do. They just kind of look at each other, looking to see who's going to start. And Ned actually is the one who speaks up first. For those of you who are not aware, I am the one who has called this meeting here today. And he stands up from his chair and points at Ashari. I call this meeting to hereby formally charge Ashari with grave crimes against the people, specifically the Elvish people. Grave crimes of of necromancy and of murder, mass genocide. Ashari doesn't even stand up, just burst out into laughter. This is what you called all of us in here for? Well, this is a short meeting then. Short like your chair.
He doesn't have to compensate, that's fine.
And Ned just... Ned has that, again, that if looks could kill stare right at Ashari. The head, the one who seems to have the tallest chair and the longest beard in the room, because beard measuring is also a thing.
Jeez, these guys, come on.
Listen, they're old mages.
Yeah?
Okay.
Viagra.
Exactly.
Yes, they are petty. Most of them,
No
all
shit.
of them actually. Kind of just. Of course, all these mages have. Of course, they also have staves. You know where this is going.
Yep.
And a few things. Anyway, he takes the staff and he kind of bangs it against the ground. Enough, both of you. Sit down. Shut up. Ned sits. Ashari was already seated, so she's not going to sit down. She's already seated.
He's gonna sit down harder and with more grievous intent.
I see
Something
they have
like that.
chainmail underpants as well to make that noise.
By the way, point of reference, Voldir, you have seen Ashari and one other mage in this room before.
At the secret room.
The secret room when you struck deals,
Yep.
remember? Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of them is an elf with ridiculously long beard.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's in the room. He's sitting right next to the one that's in charge.
You say an elf?
Yeah, he is an elf.
Elves are allowed and even encouraged to be in the Mages College, so.
I remember, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Mages College, Everbright University are neutral locations for elves.
no, that's not what I'm
Sorry?
talking about. Like,
Much
I'll think about it.
confused.
Well, I'll think about it longer. Keep going.
Okay. The second in command, the one that I'm gonna start. I'm gonna need to give y'all names for next session, by the way.
Yep.
One of the other mages pipes up. Well, what's this about? So is this why we were called here? So we were all called here not just to debate the ethics of human experimentation, but to actually try one of our own for actually committing to a field study of it? This is a grave charge indeed. Do you have proof, Ned? And Ned tosses several scrolls onto the table. Got all the proof you need right here. Ashari starts to reach for one of them, but the head mage basically whacks her hand with his staff,
Ooh.
as if to tell her, bad, Ashari. Out of line, bad protocol. The second in command, meanwhile, the elf of the group, there's one elf amongst the 10, and he is second in command. Instead, picks up a couple of the scrolls and starts reading through them. And picks up another one, reads through it. And another one. Then he picks up the two that the party is familiar with. And you can just start to see the color drain out of his face. And he slowly closes those scrolls.
Is it color draining out of recognition or out of disgust?
Disgust, fear, a lot of emotions.
But not.
No, he's fine. Like, nothing physically is wrong with him. It's more of a holy shit kind of look on his face, you know?
All right.
He puts the scrolls down. His expression doesn't even change as he kind of slides them over to the head mage, and he just sits down. Color still drained from his face.
His chair gets ever so slightly small.
Head mage starts to look through them. Voldir and Remy can make this check. Based on background, I need a insight check, please.
Coming up.
Steel Isle. Interesting.
Ooh, that is interesting.
Plus insight, you say?
Insight.
16 total.
16, Remy. 24. I will roll against this. This is going to be a difficult roll, though. Especially against that 24. I have rolled well.
But not that well?
But not well enough for Remy. Because it actually... Hang on. Let me check the sheet. Let me make sure. I'm just checking the modifier because I rolled an 18.
Ooh.
Plus... Did I give her... I did, yes. Okay. So no, it actually just barely passes over Remy.
Ooh.
Just barely.
Sadness.
If only we had a lore bard to cutting words.
The
I don't wanna
reason
kick
why
this
only...
off yet.
Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, she's poker faced right now. She's just waiting to see. This is indeed a grave charge. Ashari, what say you? Shari looks at him,
The music is perfect.
still poker faced. Looks through the scrolls. This all seems well and interesting, and it does sound to me like there is a problem within the Mages Guild, but pray tell, how does this come back to me? You've established that there are rogue agents within the Mages College, and I think that that statement is undeniable here, especially considering that you have an underground network connecting to the Mages College, one that was never approved by this council.
Huh?
But just because I simply head up the alchemical division means that I'm responsible? No. You're going to need more proof than that.
Can I whisper to Ned at this point?
Sure.
Hey Ned, did we say anything about underground tunnels? Was that in the information that was in there?
Ned leans back and whispers, "It's the only way I could get this meeting to happen."
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna... Oh my gosh.
What?
I wonder if she has one of the tuning forks on her.
She might. Hard to tell.
Those are only one way.
They are.
But they still make sound.
By the way, those tuning forks have not made any sound since you've left the tower, just so FYI.
Yeah.
Lies. I hit one against the rock on my way here. It made a lovely F tone.
Okay, it made an F tone, but I'm saying the other forks didn't react to the F tone. I'll put it that way.
Okay, that was the question I was going to ask. Did they react with each other?
No, Remy and I had a lovely concert while we were having rails.
Oh, nice.
It makes lovely music. Which, by the way, if you have not watched those 2 sessions, we had elevator music.
Lovely, lovely stock music.
So, what of it? How would this come back to me? As
Do I
opposed
detect
to
any magic on her?
Oh, there's some magic on her. First off, you can see the brand spankin', well, not new, but I should say the standard mage's armor in the room. By the way, everyone in this room who is of the 10 is wearing mage's armor right now. Every one of them is using the spell detect magic right now.
It's good pastime.
Mm-hmm. Every one of them is also has a spell prepped, as far as you can tell, keeping it kind of in the back, and it is definitely one of a more destructive nature.
Maybe some kind of contingency.
Every single one of them, including Ned. But they're not pointed at anyone in particular right now. It's more of a, in case things go badly.
Marcy, tell me when this is gonna get started, because I might have a way to get them to admit.
Also, a couple of other spells are in the room. You do have a couple of comprehend languages in the room, beyond the party. You also... Yeah, you recognize them. There are also a couple of spells in here. That you would recognize. The chairs themselves are pinging magic all over, obviously. That's conjuration.
Definitely compensating.
There's also... You sense illusion in the room within 120 feet of you. In fact, you can tell that they're in the form of familiar shapes, so you can tell that everybody seems to be hiding familiars within the room. Beyond that, you cannot detect anything else within 120 feet at this particular moment.
God, I need to check the components of a certain spell. One moment. Damn it,
I'm sorry, I
need
need to correct myself. There is one other spell that you sense within 120 feet of you. Some form of divination. For a brief moment. As that is very quickly, or at least an attempt at divination, which is very quickly counterspelled. Somebody's being naughty. You don't know who, though.
I was gonna say, where did that come from?
You don't know, but you know somebody in this room was being naughty.
Okay.
That's all you know.
Remy does.
Remy actually, Remy knows that. Well, there are a lot of spells being cast and countered and whatnot. It's this whole room is lit like a Christmas tree.
How many counter spells do they have?
These are mages. Do you really want me to count?
I was thinking like at least 10 each, but that's all they're like about level 3s and higher, so we can just wait. We can just wait this out, and once they're done, we can just smack them over their head and sort this out.
So there's not a lot of counter spells and dispels magics going on right now. It's more of the what really annoys them versus not. So there's like a counter spell going off here and there. Like that divination attempt was a very, very quick counter spell in GTFO.
I see.
With that nonsense. Yeah. As far as you can tell, though, anytime somebody seems to get an idea of divination, it quickly gets counterspelled. And there's been 3 attempts in this room in the past 5 minutes.
Whoa.
So out of character, I can ask what divination does.
It's a school of magic.
It
But
lets
you
you
don't
see
know that.
things.
You don't know that. I'm telling that to anybody who's using detect magic. It's just a school of magic is all it is.
I'll fill you in, GFJ. Continue.
Also out of game. Now brought up a good point, and I'm not sure I would know this or not. You'll have to be a judge of that. Would the notes that we got from, I'm guessing the research notes from below the tower, does Ned have access to those, or?
No.
Okay, so he doesn't know anything about those.
The only thing that he has access to are the things that were given to him, or were shared directly with him, and nothing that was in that room is in his possession right now. At least not from you.
Okay.
However, he did bring up the tunnel.
Okay.
Ned, who's the head of R&D here?
He looks at the one with the longest beard and the tallest chair. And the only one in the room with the staff as well. Just kind of looks at him, doesn't say a word, just kind of slowly nods in his general direction. So you'll know exactly who that is now. At which point, the head mage stands up and says, I think perhaps it might be time to begin this in earnest, shall we?
God, they're gonna have a really good wisdom save, but this doesn't have a somatic component, which means there's no real way for them to notice.
Remy, you sense an enchantment coming out of the head mage's hands, at which point every single person in the room will now make a charisma saving throw. You can choose to fail it if you so choose.
Sorry, all of us will make it?
Everybody who is in the room will make this roll as a charisma saving throw. If you so choose, you can choose to automatically fail it, though.
18 plus 2.
Is it a familiar spell?
You have that's going to require an Arcana check.
Wow.
Croesus
Yeah, I
chooses
want to know if
fail.
it's familiar, so...
I need an Arcana. I need a better of Arcana or History.
I'm
In that
so
case-
bad at making
They're
the
the
save that he
exact
didn't roll.
same!
Same.
20 will pass.
Is it
I'll roll
that?
myself.
Marasi, you'll have to pass a check if you want to find out.
All
I mean,
right.
obviously it's Zone of Truth.
I can't tell you unless
The Zone of Truth is a ritual only kind of thing, though.
No, it's
anybody
not.
who
No. You can
anybody
cast it.
anybody who's making the check that rolls above a 15, congratulations, yes, it's Zone of Truth.
sweet. Okay.
Of course it is, but it's better to have confirmation. It could be, I don't know, delayed fireball. Who knows?
I
We
will
hope it's not
Remy-
that.
fail.
Remy knows that it's an enchantment. So, it's definitely not that.
I'll choose to fail.
Remy chooses to fail.
I will fail as well.
Rossi, you choose to fail?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Croesus also chooses to fail. Philnon has failed. Valdir, I don't think I have a roll from you.
20 on that.
20 non-nat for a save?
Yep.
You actually just barely pass.
So obviously a 5 in intelligence and what? That's... I want to say 4 in proficiency. Interesting.
Actually,
No.
that's a 6 in proficiency. He's
Yeah,
level
I was-
17 or above.
Shit just got real.
But you know what? I think we'll get to the main event next time.
Nah.
How dare you?
I think we'll get to the main event next time. So going into the next session, Voldir, you are not affected by the Zone of Truth. Everybody else is affected by the Zone of Truth in the party. Petrie, take us out.
Okay.
I can lie if I wanna.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
a
you
there's a
can.
thing with that though, which having the spell card on my person, I know
Uh-huh.
that if you make the check, they know about it. Rather to appear and to have them be certain that you're not lying than to have the option to lie.
Feldir is not a mage. He doesn't know that.
This is fair.
Good luck with that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I thought about that pretty thoroughly. Also, additional language in the spell says that such a creature can be evasive in its answers, as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. So we'll see how well Marasi can stretch the truth to make it work just enough for her, which is her specialty. So anyway, thanks for watching. We will be back next time with the trial of Ashari. And oh boy, I hope it goes as poorly for her as my trial went well for me. Because, anyway, that's it, and we'll be back later. See ya!